We're live.
Good deal.
I need to mute that.
Excellent. I sound like someone from the 90s. Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, exactly. First one, not so much. Second one, pretty good.
I think you're wrong. But we've
Hey,
been there.
Yeah, I have my opinions. Everybody else has their opinions.
Oh, Barcelona, not this again.
What's up?
I know what it is. Hang on.
Technical difficulties, like usual.
Give me a second, as if the camera wasn't bad enough. This at least I know how to fix.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant to do. You can be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It did it again. I hadn't had to do that in a while.
So what are you doing exactly?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm fixing the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Or what he calls the microphone. So under the device default format, it defaults to monaural, as in mono.
Yeah.
We don't want mono, we want stereo.
Yes.
So I'm turning it back to stereo. Why it switches, I don't know.
Interesting.
This may cause... Okay, now I'm unmuted.
Okay.
So hopefully here in a second I'll hear it on that thing.
Huh.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of a delay.
A little bit.
Tiny bit. Okay, now I'm unmuted. There we go.
All right.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry for the delay. We had some audio issues.
And as you can see, video issues.
Yeah, video issues. We're having all kinds of issues today. Apparently, the lens on our
webcam decided to disappear.
Yeah, that happens. But luckily, Drew has already ordered the other one, so we'll be up and ready to go for our next review.
Exactly.
All right. So, welcome, guys, to the Cellcast. This is Jacob.
This is Drew.
And we are about to review Disney Pixar's Ratatouille, which came out in 2007. This is a very interesting little film. It's a lot of fun, and it's very much of a ratty good time. I'm just gonna go for it. It's a ratty good time. And yeah, so if you have not seen Ratatouille, this is my first full viewing in the film. So be like, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, you've never seen Ratatouille, like you're not alone in it. I enjoyed it. So I'll get into that in couple minutes of our non-spoiler section. I'm trying not to get
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I meant to turn that back off. I got distracted.
Yeah, of course. It's totally fine. It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I get very distracted if you didn't notice because Drew's television was on. It's like, ooh, a video game. Either way, so we
technically the TV is still on, but
yeah, that is true. That is true. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so guys, we will. If you have not seen Ratatouille, it's available on Disney Plus. If you are subscribed to Disney Plus, go check that out. And if you have a physical copy, even better. I'm one of those guys that loves physical copies of films. I don't mind digital. Be like, I just prefer physical.
It would help if I would hit record on that.
Yes, that would be amazing.
I forgot to turn it on after we had that trouble with the sound.
That is so true. But
it looks like we won't have to mess with anything because it all looks good. So continue with your thoughts, sir.
I'm
sorry.
No, good deal. So yeah, we will be getting to Disney Pixar's Ratatouille fairly shortly. Yeah, shortly. Certainly. All right, so shortly we will be getting to our review of Disney Pixar's Ratatouille. So hang in there, grab a slice, maybe cook something in very, very delectable in the kitchen, and we will be getting started shortly. And if you are actually making something in the kitchen, let us know what you're making because that'll be really interesting. Either way, so we will get started very shortly. Oh, I cannot wait for this weekend. I cannot wait for this weekend.
I know you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, if they don't, please, Lord, they do not cancel it at the last minute. That'd be terrible.
Just thought of something. I pushed it all the way over there because I was trying to be funny.
Oh, the remote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that another one right over there on top of the Star Wars?
Yes.
Blu-ray? Hand me that one.
All right.
That'd be easier instead of you trying to fall over there. I think that's a Series X. Yeah, it is. I just wanted to check something because I got to thinking.
Yeah.
I think I saw something, a trailer for something. A live reaction for all you people in the bloopers.
Yeah.
Assuming it's here.
Oh, Lower Decks Season 2.
Let's see if they actually... I thought I saw a new trailer, but I think I was wrong.
Well, I saw one over there.
That wasn't the... that's the show, and that's the one from a year ago.
Oh, Season 2.
Yeah.
No, the one down there.
Hang on.
3 down.
That one I've seen.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was another one.
Oh, okay.
From like last week.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Oh, there's this. There's no audio.
Audio?
Oh, the speaker turned itself off.
So, yeah, we are... Well, Drew is turning on his speakers, and we are watching a clip from Season 2 of Star Trek Lower Decks. In 1 month. That's going to be interesting. Oh, my gosh.
That wasn't much.
That wasn't much. It was funny.
Yeah, we need to figure out how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And...
Tangled.
No, worse. What if?
Oh my
gosh. Is it on the 22nd?
Wow, you're right.
What I think I'm going to do,
okay,
if you're okay with this,
yeah,
before that comes out, I will finish out season 1.
Okay,
and I will get all those out because I think there's only like 3 episodes left, and only 2 of them are ones I'll have to fully edit from the ground up because you got most of them already,
right?
If I'm remembering correctly.
Okay,
and then I'll get those done before then, and then essentially, when this starts over. When this goes, we'll go through all these, and then I'll get season 2 done out when I'll start putting those out as soon as those shows are done.
Okay,
if that works for you, I hate to split you up like that. But
no, it sounds like a plan. It'd be like we're definitely hopping on the bandwagon of new stuff coming out. Well, and we've already reviewed season 1 of Lower Decks.
Yeah, we kind of have to do season 2.
Yes, we do, and
I think we both want to do What If. Yeah. So. Ryan Ashley Wall was in our chat. I don't know if he's still there. He's on our Facebook page, but he says, I wish I could watch more live. This is my favorite Pixar film.
Oh, excellent. Like I said before,
look forward to the episode coming out this Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said before, this is my first time actually watching the full movie. That was very interesting.
I think when I watched this before, I missed like the very beginning. Because what I remember, I don't remember any of the stuff with the old lady in the Tom, what I call the Tom and Jerry bit. That's what that was Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
I know, I've seen that in Tom and Jerry.
Which bit? Describe that.
The very beginning there where she's firing the shotgun at them.
Oh, yeah. That's very much Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that from before, but then once we get into Paris, then everything was like, okay, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
So I think I must have missed the beginning part in my previous viewings.
But either way,
make sure my notes are up. Not a whole lot of Kingdom Hearts connections this week. Unlike next week, because I've already done my notes for Akira.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's a ton of those.
Oh, look at this. So from here to here is the cast list, right?
Yeah.
You see it's about, what was it, that 3/4 of the screen?
Yeah. Wow.
Whole screen.
Whole screen.
Now, part of that is because the cast list I'm doing is I'm only pulling from the Pioneer dub, which I hope is the dub you watched.
The Pioneer dub?
Yeah. That's the newest one with Johnny Young Bosch as
yeah, I did.
Kaneda. This is pulling from both dubs and the Japanese version.
Wow. Okay.
One guy in here is like 7 different people in the streamlined dub.
Wow.
Before you get down to his one minuscule part in Kingdom Hearts.
Wow. I'm just like, y'all, that is really cool. All right. So either way, we'll get started in a hurry. So if you guys are watching early, there's no screen effects going on here. No, there's not a fire in this apartment.
Nope. It's just the lens fell off the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the best I can do until the new camera comes in.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, the air conditioner went out.
This is bad. It's really, really terrible.
And jalapeno tree right behind there. They're just being really smoky tonight.
Yeah. They're cooking.
The fajitas are burning.
There we go.
The fajitas are burning. There's your problem.
Man, I would not mind that smell at all. Like fajitas running through the apartment and like, man, it smells so good. Now I want to go buy fajitas.
Well, I know your thought process there. I understand your thought process.
Yes.
There. Believe me, you can tire of a lot of stuff.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Just notice you can see this package in the video, so I'm gonna throw that over there.
Hit me in the ear.
I didn't intend to hit you in the ear. I was trying to get the Amazon logo off the screen so that we weren't accidentally accidentally advertising for them without getting any money.
Exactly.
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. We got Voltron. It's like Voltron back there. Keyblade. Spider-Man. Godzilla 3 times over. A Mandalorian bucket.
Yeah.
Batman.
Stitch.
Totoro.
Field.
Garfield. Darkwing. All this other stuff.
Well, it's not really promotion. It's more like, hey, this stuff on the set.
Yeah.
But either way. So yeah, so we will get started shortly. If you guys have seen, I want to say, Ratatouille.
I remember that commercial from when the thing aired 15 years ago.
Yeah, roughly. Jeez.
Well, they had to get the name in our head somehow because us dumb Americans would never know how to pronounce it otherwise.
Yeah. But either way, we will get started very shortly. And if you have watched the film, comment it down below what you like. I know Ryan has already commented down below.
Yes. And our Facebook page. So if bear in mind, if we are on Facebook Live and Twitch and YouTube all at the same time, and we get all your chats.
Exactly.
When you comment or you talk in the Twitch chat, and we will bring you up if we find something interesting in the show or nothing else. At the end of the show and at intermission, we go through the entire chat log.
Exactly.
Every time.
Yeah. So
I think there's only very few times. I think the only ones I won't read is if you're a spam email asking me for more. If I want more viewers.
Yeah, which we will say we will
stop the show and banhammer you on that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just a friendly reminder to our audience. We now have a Patreon.
Indeed.
So we have 3 levels. One is thank you so much for supporting. 5 is you get artwork and what was it?
Pretty much artwork.
Yeah, it's just artwork that recently just went up.
Yes. One of that went up.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. I put that one out there. I hope you guys enjoy it. That took me all day to work on. It was fun to work on.
What's really weird is since I don't actually, subscribe to my own Patreon, because why would you?
Yeah.
Because that's just money going in circles.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea if it posted correctly because I can't see what it looks like. I don't even know if our bloopers have been posted correctly or if Luca does. The only thing I know for certain is our link into our Discord, which we have a Discord, folks.
Yes.
Our link to our Discord works because when Josh signed up for it, the first thing he did was type in that Discord. I was like, oh, good. Something does work.
Good deal.
I know something works. Hallelujah.
So either way, be like, yeah, we got we have a $10 tier, which you get everything, and we've got like projects down the pipeline we're wanting to work on. But yeah, so if you want to support us financially with that, you can go to our patreon.com/thecellcast and support us there on either one of those tiers. There again, we're not looking to make mega bucks with this. We're just looking to expand the equipment, the equipment we have. We just had to Drew says to pay money
to purchase a new camera for obvious reasons.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, just if you want to support us, that's great. Be like,
yes.
if not, be like, just share, like, and subscribe to us. Tell your friends about us, and I don't know, have a listening party. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. And just
tell us how you enjoy the Cellcast podcast today.
Yeah, exactly. On your favorite podcast directory, or
do you listen in the car? Do you listen at work?
Yeah.
Do you listen while you're trying to make kids go to sleep? Do we put you to sleep? Yeah. We want to know these things.
Exactly.
If we're putting you to sleep, we are not trying hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can sleep through a lot. I can't tell which.
I can sleep through a storm. I know that.
I'm aware of this because I was sleeping Sunday night when that hurricane, or what was that came through Sunday night?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Apparently, it was some parts of. It wasn't flooded per se.
Yeah, it was part of her tropical storm Elsa.
We got visited by Elsa.
Yes, we did.
Oh.
Yeah, the jokes, like when I learned it was Elsa, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, thankfully it wasn't
a winter storm.
Yes. Amen to that. Amen to that. That's just like, wow. So yeah, guys, if you are part of our
never
Patreon,
in my life have I wanted to let it go so much.
Exactly. So if you guys are part of our Patreon, please let us know down. I think there's a comment section in Patreon, or
you can reply or comment or something on the Patreon, or like I said, go to the Discord.
Yeah, go to Discord. Let us know.
We will definitely get.
Yeah.
This thing will go off, but won't get it now because I've got it muted. But this thing's will go off like a freight train in a thunderstorm. We all talking on it is what I would like. I'd like to have to go in there and mute it. Right now, it's as loud as it can be, except for the I've got the sound turned off on the phone. I want to come home and see a red dot here on this Discord icon and go into it, and it be for us. We want to talk to you people.
Yeah, exactly. Now, granted, we're not trying to force you to do anything you don't want to.
We're trying to encourage you.
Yeah, exactly.
Come talk to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Be friends.
Exactly.
Why can't we
be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Anyway.
I'm getting too old for this crap.
Speak for yourself.
I'm kind of why can't we be friends? I associate with the Lethal Weapon series.
Oh, well, at least I follow your reference now.
Exactly. And plus, sadly, the passing of Richard Donner. I think last week he passed away, which was like just kind of like sad. Like he made some amazing films,
including what I still consider to be the most iconic Superman movies.
Agreed.
One of them, two of them anyway.
Yeah.
Like two, not so much.
Yeah.
He didn't direct those.
Yeah. Well, he directed part of two, then they restored it through the best they could.
That's why I said two.
Yeah. Okay.
Two films.
Three was and four was like, what the heck are they doing?
Well, they weren't involved. He wasn't involved with those two.
No, he wasn't. But he directed all 4 Lethal Weapon films, which they were in pre-production of working on Lethal Weapon 5
and the Goonies.
And the Goonies, of course.
I hear they never say die. which is a phrase I don't understand.
Yes.
Maybe because I didn't watch this when I was 5.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was 30.
Yeah, same here.
And I don't get it.
Yeah, I'd be like, it's a fun film. It's interesting. I had our music minister at our church was raving about Goonie Jesus. I was like, okay, I'll finally watch it. And he's like, finally, someone who's following. But either way,
that was weird.
So yeah, we have a Patreon. We possibly have some merch in the future. We're still working on the details on that. So
there are things in the pipeline.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be like things do not work. Like one, we are not. This is not our full-time job, obviously.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'd get you more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have a second podcast going by now. This one, besides the Cellcast, where it would be I'd be going through every episode of Star Trek ever made.
He would.
I was in pre-production on that before I decided I did not have time to do this.
Yes, that was very interesting. So if it comes to that point that we are fully sponsored by Patreon,
and we can quit our job.
Exactly, that would be amazing. But
actually, I don't think I'd quit my job because that just sounds silly.
Yeah, agreed.
And not very financially smart.
No, it wouldn't.
Because this all could go down in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, easy.
easy.
It is social media after all.
Y'all could hate us and we never realize it.
Exactly. So there again, we want a community that is very vocal, very out there, wants to talk about everything.
Yes.
So we just get the conversation started and maybe get something from you guys. It's something we maybe had not seen in the film or something like that. And so speaking of, I will be at Compalooza this weekend. I think it's the 16th to the 17th.
Whatever Friday and Saturday are.
Yes. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday. I will be there with my brother Jim, and we
were previously on Movie of the Week podcast with. No, we don't know what's going on with Movie of the Week podcast right now, but stay tuned for either announcement of our return or our fall. I don't know which.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. It's still up in the air.
Yes, it all up in the air.
So definitely, if you guys do pray for my brother. Just in general.
He's going through some stuff.
Yeah, he's going through a lot of stuff right now. So either way, I'll be at Compalooza this weekend. So if you are going to the con itself, I'm not asking for like people who don't live in Texas to drive to drive to this con to come see me. I'm not asking that. I'm simply saying if you are attending the con, actually
let him know.
Yeah, let me know. Actually,
y'all can plan a meet up somewhere.
Exactly.
Somewhere by the cosplayers dressed up as I don't know
Loki.
Yes, as Sylvie.
Okay. I still haven't watched.
That's right. You still have not watched Loki.
I still don't know what's Loki. So yeah, actually.
Sorry.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. Because you haven't watched Loki, I can't share with you some awesome piece of fan art that someone did that was a combination of Luca and Loki. But because you have not watched the show, I cannot share with you.
Okay, so
because it would spoil crap.
Okay, so how many episodes are you in?
Tomorrow, the last episode 6, is coming out.
Okay. So it looks like I'll be binging Loki.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Just watch the show. That's what I keep hearing.
You will not understand why jet skis are so important.
Okay. So yeah, I actually had one of our listeners, Josh. He contacted me saying he might be going to Compalooza, so I might meet with him. So there again,
that's your cousin Josh. Right?
That's my cousin Josh.
That's our only patron so far.
So far.
Speaking of which, Josh says Loki is amazing. I agree.
Okay.
And if there is not a jet ski in this last episode, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, so Paul J. Powers actually is watching right now. Hi, John.
Yes. In fact, I'm going to see if
Paul, sorry, why do I keep calling you John?
It's pauljpowers.com.
Always.com. Always.com. So either way, guys.
Team Womp for the win. Anyway.
Team Womp for the win. So yeah, guys, we'll get started fairly shortly. So hang in there. Like I said before, if you're cooking anything at this moment, it doesn't matter if it's the most simplest dish, the most complex dish right now, let us know. That'd be amazing. Be like either live or later when you're listening to this on Saturday.
Actually, I can go ahead and show you this art because I still don't think you'll get it, but it is still nice.
That is nice.
I'm going to post this in our Discord for anyone who's curious.
Okay, cool.
But you don't get what's so awesome about that picture. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. There again, I still have to watch Loki.
Indeed. Indeed you do. Yes, I did post that in general, not just in background characters. That's the thing. If you get on our Patreon, you actually get a private Discord channel to talk to us and other patrons with.
Yeah.
Which right now is me, him, and Josh.
Yeah.
In our chat. Come talk to us. We want to talk to you.
Exactly. There again, no pressure.
Josh, I can't go because of, well, I don't have the money to go right now because I'm saving up to go on one of these. To go
sailing, which I'm slightly jealous.
But anyway,
I've never
eventually, my friend, we will meet.
Yes. Yeah, so I've never
been on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise.
I kind of figured that. How are you at motion sickness?
I don't know. I've been on a boat in a while.
I'm not asking about boat. I'm asking in general.
Motion sickness.
Do you get motion sick in the car?
No.
Do you get motion sick on an airplane? I'm assuming you've been on an airplane in recent memory.
Yes. No.
Okay.
The first time I flew, yes, I was very sick.
Okay.
But
I'll put it this way. If you've been on an airplane and it's done this number as it's banking,
yeah,
and you were fine, this is far worse than anything you'll experience on a cruise ship. Because that's the thing, is that ship is big enough. Yeah, if the seas are
rocky,
you will. Well, after when you first get on the boat, even before they've cast off, you will feel the boat moving underneath you.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you won't see the boat moving. So that little bit of disconnect can mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mess with me for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why. But they do make a seasick medicine that you can take to make sure, if you want to just verify. You just have to start taking it about a day before you get on the boat, and just take the pills like once every 7 days. And I'm sure there's an essential oil that's the equivalent.
Yes, there is.
I say it that way, but I don't know what it is. I just know what my mom takes.
Mm-hmm. You know what would be really cool? Be like in a couple of years, say we have a bigger Patreon and we get a bigger fan base, and we, things get bigger. By the grace of God, things get bigger. And we can do meetups with people and that kind of stuff, like doing on a cruise ship. That'd be amazing.
Well, I do know you can like go as a group, and then they'll give you some like time and like a room to yourself. So you can go in there, maybe watch movies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine us all getting together in a room to watch like 4 episodes of He-Man on a screen like the size of that wall right there?
Yeah.
I assume He-Man. Something equally ridiculously poorly animated.
I would agree with you. It was sorely poor. I actually had the entire. I completely understand. Like story animation is pretty good.
Cheaply animated.
Exactly.
Or better yet, food fight.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. It would be like people just like, boo, you stink. This is so much fun. Yeah,
it would be fun to watch with a group and laugh at how bad it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not watched Food Fight. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I just don't know when it's gonna feel right to slide that in there and torture you with it.
Hey, believe me, I've tortured you with films.
I know.
But either way, guys, we will get started very shortly. And so if you have any ideas of what be like the way we can get things, bigger and better, we can do things that are, I'm not saying we, do entertainment to just to get fans, like I said, just, stuff we can do. Stuff we can do is like get the community bigger and grow the community and get things a little more rolling. Because I don't want to be the guy that like, hey, we're sponsored by so-and-so.
I understand. That is actually the entire reason we don't do patron shout-outs.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we know that while I enjoy hearing them say the Cellcast or hear from the Cellcast on the ones that I'm a patron with. I enjoy hearing that, but I know it's like sometimes it's like you hear this, it's like I don't care who any of these people are. So, to each their own. We're going to be the strange people and not do patron shout-outs because of that. Yeah,
exactly. But it would be cool once we get like bigger Patreon and bigger fan base, and we can be like, hey, we're going to this movie in this certain town. Like, hey, let's all meet up at this theater. watch it, and just hang out.
By the way, before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
this Saturday, I don't know what time because I don't know if I have to go into work or not,
Mm.
but I'm going to be continuing Sonic Saturdays.
Yeah.
I have left on Sonic Adventure Supersonics, which is the final story mode in Sonic Adventure.
Okay.
I still have E102 Gammas. And then I have Big the Cat.
Oh.
Big the Cat's levels are all fishing levels.
Okay. Oh,
You
fun.
literally fish. For Froggy. That is how he talks.
Yes, I'm aware how Biggie talks.
Yes. There's like, I think 4 or 5 levels.
Yeah.
That's just going to be me trying to catch a frog.
Okay.
So come join me. Try to catch a dumb frog. And then I can get to the fun levels of Gamma. And then if y'all are hanging, I need y'all's input.
Yeah.
As to where to go from here. Do I jump into Sonic Adventure 2? Do I do some Sonic Mania? Do I do Sonic Generations? That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple other things I've got put aside. But I will say that when Sonic Colors Ultimate comes out in, what was that, September? Or is it October? I think it's September. I am planning on doing a playthrough of it on the channel.
Okay.
I was going to buy it anyway, so this is no skin off my nose.
Okay, cool.
Although there will be a couple weeks I will have to miss because...
sailing.
Yes. But I'm not telling you when that is because I don't want anyone getting into my apartment while I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, speaking of this Saturday, there again, I will be at San Diego Comic-Con. That'd be amazing. But no,
Especially since it's not happening.
Yeah, it's all digital. Either way. So I will be there again. I will be at Compalooza this weekend, and so if you want to follow my adventure there, you can follow me on my personal Facebook and Instagram pages. So I'll be posting things there. So
you're going to live post your experience?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, not an actual quote unquote live post.
Yeah,
but you'll be posting stuff.
I'll be posting stuff. Be like stuff I find, people I run into, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll just be like, hey, check out my adventure here. So we will get started very shortly. So why don't we, kick the rats out of the
kitchen?
Out of the kitchen, and let's get this thing started.
You got a pun for me?
Yes.
Do I have a pun for you is the question.
That's a good question.
I think I do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark here if you're ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right, starting in. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast. Joining me today is a man who's cooking something up in the kitchen. Welcome, Jacob.
Needs a little more herbs.
Well, I was about to tell you, I think your fajitas are burning.
Oh, crap. Let me go get that. Why, thank you. Let me introduce our co-host, a man who just needs to impress a foodie critic. Welcome, Drew.
Which is pretty sad considering I'm not a foodie myself.
I've met foodies. They're like really cool
I've
people.
met them too. They're interesting.
They are
people.
interesting
I will
people.
say they're interesting people. That's not my first thought. But my first thought's not really that bad, I should say. But
Gotcha.
Interesting is the nicest term.
Yes.
Weird is the term I want to use. But anyway, so yeah, we later on we are going to be reviewing Disney Pixar's Ratatouille.
Yes.
But first, Jacob, what have you been watching? Or no, sorry. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing very good. I got my hair cut on I think Saturday because I hadn't had
Interesting. I got mine cut Friday.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I'd not had a haircut in probably like a month and a half.
2.
So yeah, I've
had 2.
You've had 2.
It was 2 months.
Wow, I can barely go within a month because
No,
it starts turning into an afro. And I can't.
On.
There's nothing wrong with afros. I'd be like, curly hair is the hardest thing to manage.
No, it was a month because I did it like right before I was did that special at church.
Oh, okay.
It was about a month ago,
which was very good. So let's see. I went for a very good walk yesterday, about 4 miles, and I loved it. And then today I went for a walk for a mile because where I work, the shopping carts or buggies, depends on what area of the country you're from.
Here they're called buggies.
I call them carts because that's the definition of what they are. But either way,
admittedly, I switch it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say buggy. Sometimes I say cart. Sometimes I say this stupid bloody thing whose wheels messed up again.
Exactly. So apparently at work, where I work, we are short of carts because people keep stealing them.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah. So I told my manager, like, hey, I'm gonna go walk down this road and go to the end of it and come back, just see if I can find one. Where we live, be like most of the town is built on a hill. Literally.
That is very true.
Very true. So I didn't realize most of this entire street was on a hill. So I was completely utterly pooped by the time I got back to the store and had to work for another 6 hours. But either way, be like, I'm doing well. I'm excited for this weekend. We're going to Compalooza with my brother Jim, and gonna have some fun. Hopefully, buy some stuff. And if you want to follow me there, you can follow my adventure at Compalooza. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Jacoby Heron, and you can watch all the craziness go down because I plan on posting stuff. Either way. Other than that, it's been a pretty good week. Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
What about you, Drew?
Well, let's see. It was an interesting week.
Yeah.
Busy. Work, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I guess not really much to talk about. I got my haircut Friday.
Yeah.
Played some Sonic Adventure Saturday, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other little things. Nothing really exciting.
Yeah.
Work was work. So, and I did have to work Saturday, so I don't know if I'm working this Saturday yet or not.
Ooh, interesting story. Speaking of working on Saturday. So last Friday, I went in at 6 a.m., which is our store opens at 7. So we were supposed to have a wax and strip job to the floor.
So you had to wax on and wax off?
Yeah, apparently. So I get there and everything has been displaced and put in the back for the floor guys. Turns out they didn't do it because they weren't scheduled until next week, or this week actually. So I get there and it's like, okay. And it's basically me and an assistant manager putting everything back, except for like this department's doing this department's this one guy is doing something. Either way, so I was scheduled for the next day to work, and I was told by another assistant director, it was like, it's like, yeah, you work Saturday, right? It's like, yep, nope, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. And then I was really worried I was gonna have to work on this Saturday, but thank the Lord I have the 2 days off. So praise the Lord, amazing. So yeah, that was fun. I was like, yeah, get the Saturday off. I get to sleep in, which was fun.
I hope I get to say that this Saturday. But
yes.
We will see.
Yeah, we shall see. Either way, so yeah, I thought that'd be a little fun little story to jump into. Either way.
That really didn't have anything else. So
no.
Let's go ahead and talk about what we've been watching. So I have been watching an old 1970s era Japanese superhero television show called Kamen Rider.
Ah.
The original Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay.
I got back into, and I watched it a little bit like when they first were releasing them again over here.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly when it came out on a Tokushoutsu, which is a channel that Shout Factory is doing for a lot of their like Super Sentai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Power Rangers technically too, but no, actually I don't think Power Rangers because that would be another thing. But anyway, I'd watched that, but I didn't get into it. And the reason I got back into it is, You remember, you know how I mentioned about a couple weeks ago, I had started listening to a podcast called the Monster Island Film Vault?
Yeah.
Well, he and another kaiju podcaster started a new show like in the last week called The Henshin Men.
Okay.
I listened to the first 2 episodes and I really enjoyed them. So if you're into this kind of posing superhero transforming things, or just want another look at maybe your memories of Power Rangers, once I get to it, go check out that podcast. I've enjoyed listening to it.
Okay.
Also, I have been watching. I watched Akira for our next podcast. I had to watch a little bit early because we're recording that episode Thursday.
Yes. That's gonna be fun
with special guests. The Retro Rewind guys. But anyway, also along with watching that, actually that was the first time I watched the Japanese version.
Okay.
That'll be interesting. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to watch the dub before Thursday. But I mean, we watched, what was that, The Eccentric Family when we were at Chase's the other night?
Yeah, that was unique.
And also I watched... There was something.
He watched something.
I keep coming back to it, and it's like, I don't remember what the name of it is.
Yeah.
There's Loki, admittedly. Loki's good.
I still need to watch Loki.
I'm an idiot for not remembering what it is I watched last week. Because I watched it Friday evening at a movie theater. Black Widow.
Yes.
Good show.
Yes.
Very, very good movie. Go watch that if you're on the ropes. And if you can, I understand if you can't, but if you can, don't pay Disney Plus an extra $30 for the rights. Go see it in a movie theater. It is worth that price.
It is.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching. What have you been watching?
What have I been watching? So, as Drew stated a minute ago, I also watched Black Widow in theaters. Such a good movie. It is. How do I put it? It's all about family, and it's
and doesn't include Dom.
And it doesn't include Dom. Oh my gosh! I
weird timing on that meme.
Yes, that is. I have been a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise since its inception, and I think it's gotten a little ridiculous.
A little bit.
I've
not even watched all of it, and I'm going a little,
just a little bit. But I've watched all the trailers for. They're calling it F9, and I'm gonna still go see it. I'm just more hesitant. Like, has anybody watched? I know people have watched this film. I'd be like, if you have, would you recommend it? Would you say no, don't go watch this film? Let me know in the comments down below, or wherever you're listening to this. Let us know. Just get a conversation started about anything would be great. About animation, about movies would be great. Maybe just anything. Anyways, so yeah, I watched that. We watched what was that, Unique Family or something?
Eccentric Family.
Eccentric Family.
I think he was calling it a Unique Family, but when I Googled it, because we're trying to look up who it wasn't on that we were looking at. We were looking at something else. I was looking at something else on that, and that was Eccentric Family.
Yeah.
What was that other show we looked up that has Ty, the voice actor for Ty, in it that we watched over?
Parallel something
parallel something.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I don't remember the name of it now.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I
don't remember the name of it.
Wow. Dual Parallels,
something like that.
Yeah, Dual Parallels. It's an anime series. It's kind of akin to Evangelion, but with
all the pretentiousness stripped away.
Yeah,
some of it actually.
Some of it, but it's almost like in the spirit of, but it's not really. It's taking some elements, because there again, I have watched Evangelion quite a few times, and it's a pseudo knockoff. There again, it doesn't have any of the emotional baggage that Evangelion has. But either way, we watched that. That was kind of fun. What did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched Akira. That was a very unique watching, and it's like, okay, what does this mean? It's like, oh, let me figure out what this everything means. Like, oh, okay, now it makes more sense a little bit. Either way,
No,
so
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
okay. It's like understanding Evangelion. It's a like deep dive into
I
everything.
suspect that. Well, here's the thing I do know about Akira. Not to jump ahead
Right.
on our podcast schedule. I do know that the manga is a lot longer than the movie.
Yes, it is.
And yet they tried to cram the entire manga into one movie. So there's characters that are apparently major players in the manga that have one scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the movie. And you don't even realize they're major characters.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take the first half of a manga or a comic book and you take the last half of the comic book and put a little filler in the middle and you try to make a movie out of it. Kind of like The Last Airbender. What I keep hearing of that film.
I haven't watched that film.
Me either.
All I know is he got all the character names wrong.
Yeah. Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Exactly. Either way.
I did remember there was actually a couple games I played.
That
I
what did you play?
Talk about. Like I said, I played some Sonic Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked up again. If you remember back when we did our reaction to Luca trailer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not the movie, the trailer.
Uh-huh.
I was going to be playing that night a game called Bravely Default 2.
Yeah.
I played it for one night, and there was this nobody hung out in the chat. I kind of just shut it off, and then I didn't pick up the game for, 2-3 months?
Mm-hmm.
I picked it up Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the fool out of this game now that there's no stress on it.
All right.
So, yeah, I've been watching that. I've been playing that.
Okay, then.
So, yeah, I wanted to throw that in there.
All righty.
So, is that it for what we've been watching? We ready to jump into the news?
Yeah, let's get in the news. All right.
So, what is in the news besides giant panda?
Oh, well, there's a lot of
giant red panda.
Yeah, red angry panda.
Well,
that is actually my first bit of news.
Thank panda, embarrassed panda, anything.
Kung Fu Panda.
I'm just saying, you're making her mother's making her embarrassed, and you won't like her when she's embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of, I just posted it to on Tuesday. This is the day of the recording. I reposted the new trailer for the upcoming larger than life original feature film Turning Red from Pixar Animated Studios, directed by Domi Shi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who won an Oscar for her short Bow. If you have not, frighteningly amazing. That is an amazing little short.
That's the one where it looks like she ate her kid.
Exactly. That's the freakiest little thing in the planet, but it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, that will be coming out in
Okay, I think we're back. Can y'all hear us?
Good deal.
Can you see us?
Can anybody hear?
Answer me. Can you hear me now? 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 Yay! Josh says he can hear us again.
Good.
Sorry about that. We had a power fluctuation.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Two of them. Just bloop, bloop. That was so much fun.
Yes.
But either way,
I actually need to mark this before we get back
I
in.
would hope so.
Okay. That'll be interesting on the bloopers.
Yes.
You can talk again.
Yeah.
If you remember where you were.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Angry Panda or Red Panda. Or Turning Red. No, I can't remember what it's called. Kung Fu Red Panda.
Kung Fu Red Panda. And I thought the Tanukis were weird.
Oh, you gotta love when there's a power outage. You can
Middle of the sentence.
Middle
okay.
of the sentence, like you're completely lost.
We don't even know where the sentence cut out.
No,
so
I'm gonna start this section over. All right. So in the news,
you won't like the panda when she's embarrassed. Moving on.
Moving on. Thank you for the segment. Thank you for the segue.
I know I said that somewhere back there.
Yes, you did. So I just recently posted on Tuesday, the night we're recording this, the new trailer for the larger-than-life original feature film Turning Red from Pixar Animated Studio director Do-Mi Shu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Award who won an Oscar for her 2018 short film Bao.
That's the one where it looks like she eats her kid.
Yeah, exactly. And it is creepy beyond belief, but it's just so amazingly well done. So go check that out. It's available on Disney Plus. This film is supposed to come out on it's supposed to come out in 2022. So be looking forward to that. We just recently watched it, the trailer, and it looks funny. Like Drew said, you do not want to be around her when she gets embarrassed.
Yes. And her mother's making her embarrassed.
Yeah.
You won't like her when she's embarrassed.
Exactly.
She'll turn into a giant, I don't know. She is a giant fluffy panda.
Very fluffy panda.
As long as she doesn't get angry and claw your teeth out, you're fine.
I'm more afraid to claw my head off.
Claw your teeth out. That just sounds wrong.
Like, come here. I just want to pick one tooth out.
No, thank you.
Like, run. All right. So speaking of Disney, speaking of the Empire of Mouse,
the Mousecapire?
The Mousecapire. Yeah, the Mousecapire.
I know why the power fluctuated.
Yeah. That was a siren, but it was a kid.
Nope, that's the siren.
Wow. Okay. All right. So Disney Plus revealed a new trailer and poster for Marvel Studios' What If.
Oh, this is looking so good.
Oh my gosh. If you have not seen this trailer, go check it out. It is so incredible. It's like, what the? Oh yeah, it is What If. That's right.
And the thing is, you're watching that, and it's like, okay, they animated the opening to Iron Man. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how even the look on Tony Stark's face when he sees the Stark Industries logo on that, and he does that weird kind of face.
Yeah.
Which is in Iron Man. I remember that. And it's like, okay, you copied that exactly. And then you have
Kilgrave.
I couldn't remember the character's name. I just remember he was like, he's evil Black Panther.
Yeah, he's
Warmonger. No, that's
Kilgrave.
a different character.
Yeah, Kilgrave.
Whatever his name is. And he's a guy who technically would have been in the military and special services when this happened. And more than likely would have been at the presentation of this device.
Yes.
Comes up, picks up the
rocket.
The rocket.
And throws
the missile.
it.
And throws it like he's throwing a football 100 yards. That's like, he would have been there, wouldn't he?
He would be.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts. Then you see things like I keep just wanting to call him Chadwick Boseman. Because I can't it's Black Panther.
Yeah.
But he's not playing Black Panther. He's playing
T'Challa.
T'Challa, thank you. I couldn't think of T'Challa's name. But T'Challa, but apparently T'Challa was picked up by Yondu instead of Peter, and he's now Star-Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, then you get Peggy Carter as
Captain Britain.
Captain Britain.
I think they're just calling her Captain Carter, but
Captain Carter.
I'm going to look at it and go, she's Captain Britain, and she's riding on Iron Man?
I guess.
How?
I have no idea.
I have heard that that's actually Steve in that Iron Man costume.
Okay.
I don't know how.
All right.
So, yeah, I like what Josh here says. Star Chala.
Star
Chala?
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Star Chala. Good one. All right. So
also, it looks like we'll get some Marvel zombies.
Yes, apparently. That's gonna be interesting. All right, so Marvel Studios' first ever animated series.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Launches on Disney Plus Wednesday, August 11th.
And we are going to review each and every episode.
Yes,
like we were supposed to have been doing with Tangled. That's more my fault than anything else, but and the episodes are recorded; they just need to be edited. But
he got wrapped up in things.
I got distracted. Anyway, we're going to get back up into that, and we are going to review that plus another show that's coming out in about a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ready to move on,
yeah,
Star Trek Lower Decks
season 2.
That looks like it's going to be good.
Mm. Yeah, he showed me a clip earlier, and I was like, okay, that's very much Lower Decks, and yeah, looking forward to it. It's there again. If you want to hear our reactions to Star Trek Lower Decks, go to our
listen to those episodes.
Yeah, go listen to our
and watch me geek out about.
Oh my gosh!
Good night. We should have done reactions to that.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
Not that I'm suggesting we do that this time, but
that would be funny. But then we get in trouble with Disney, or no, not Disney, Paramount.
Yes.
Paramount this time.
Well, no, you just turn the audio down to a point, like we did with Luca.
Yeah, exactly. Commentary. Yeah.
Let's talk about this later.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. All right, so back into the news. All right, so this is kind of a merger, kind of a deal that just recently happened on the heels of the recent deal with Peacock, the streaming platform. Yeah, exactly. Amazon's Prime Video, and IMDb Television. Universal Films Entertainment Group announced a multi-year deal with Netflix, which gives them the streaming exclusive U.S. rights to all its animated features. So if you are a fan of Universal Picture films, they will now be streaming on Netflix very shortly.
That was a lot of companies you just named just to say, hey, Universal's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why wouldn't Universal be on Peacock? They own Peacock. They don't have to pay anybody.
That is true.
This thing I'm just bringing up.
I guess it was more Netflix, gave them the deal they can't refuse.
True.
Yeah, because now it's like the bidding war to get everything.
Yes, but you have to realize what we're actually talking about here. Mm-hmm. Illumination.
Yeah, it's Illumination.
Pretty much Illumination is all we're talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
There might be some classic stuff I can't think of at the moment, but yeah, it's all of Illumination's movies.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so going into the next bit of news, this is also a trailer. This came out, I think, last week. And thank you, Heather Morgan, another listener of ours, for bringing this to my attention. Thank you very much. A new trailer, poster, and image are now available, including audience to the Walt Disney Animation Studio in Kanto. It's about a very extravagant family who lives hidden in the mountains of Colombia in a magical house in a vibrant town. And yeah, it's called Enchanted, and it will be in theaters November 24th, 2021. So if you are interested in this film, I'm going to post it to our Facebook right after the recording, and comment down below like what you think of Encanto, and let us know. We might be like, we'll definitely be going to see this movie in theaters and get a reaction to that. So my last bit of news is, you gotta love Shout Factory, right?
I love Shout Factory.
All right. So Shout Factory is doing it again, but this time with steelbooks. All right. So Shout Factory, which is like a movie distribution, which distributes like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like those movies I've forgotten, a lot of horror films or whatever. Shout Factory is giving more fan favorite anime features or movies the steelbook treatment at summer's end, partnering with G Kids. The upcoming enhanced releases will include Perfect Blue, Porco Rosso, which we reviewed. Yes. So if you want to listen to our review there, go check that out. And a film I've never heard of, Up from the Poppy Hill.
Oh, Up from Poppy Hill. That's another Ghibli one.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think we're like 3 or 4 years from it.
Okay. All right. So Perfect Blue will be released on September 14th. Porco Rosso and Up from on Poppy Hill will be released on September 21st. If you're interested in picking it up on Steelbook, I'm not exactly sure where you'll be able to purchase it. Obviously, you can purchase
Amazon.
You can purchase Amazon. Most likely, you can get it from. I'm thinking Best Buy. Best Buy, you can probably get it.
Probably any place that sells Steelbook movies.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll probably have this.
Probably. So yeah, that is all I have for in the news, which is a lot of trailer news.
Oh yes.
Which is like, okay, Turning Red, I'm looking forward to because that looks fun. Thankfully, I got the title right this time. And then
Seeing Red would involve a bull.
Huh?
Well, you know,
Flash.
Bulls, they see red, they chase it.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, there's another movie count like that we'll be reviewing in the future, which I have 3 copies of for some reason.
I'm just glad the movie I was supposed to get that got me 3 copies of a movie that I actually own now. So
we might have to get one of those.
Actually, I'm not sure where they are.
Oh, okay.
I only know where one is, so I may have already gotten rid of the other 2. Anyway,
either ways, so yeah, Encanto, which is gonna be out this year. So yeah, let us know what you think about those trailers, and are you excited, or you can be like, oh, I'm gonna skip out on it. But either way, yeah, that is all I have for in the news.
Okay. Then I guess we need to jump into our spoiler-free section on Ratatouille.
Yes.
I don't know the time when I saw this movie the first time. I know I saw it before, but I can't tell you when or where or how long ago, other than I'm fairly certain I was still living at my parents' house. So that's like a 7-year window.
Yeah.
That I might have seen it. And I'm fairly certain I missed the very beginning of it that first time I watched it when I came back and watched this.
Right.
Because once we get to Paris, I remembered the movie. Up until we got to Paris, I did not.
Kind of a blur.
Just a little bit.
You don't remember the very angry grandmother with the shotgun.
No, I don't remember that. And I don't know how I would have missed it unless maybe it was coming on TV and I caught it on TV and I caught it after it started. Maybe I was visiting somebody and they had just put it in when I got there and I ended up watching it with the kids. I don't know. I just know I watched it before and I enjoyed what I watched before. It is a good, fun movie. It is not your typical Pixar movie, I would say.
Agreed.
Even though it feels like it started that way, which we'll get to. There's a couple interesting things about the creation of this movie. I came up when I was researching trivia. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It's about a rat.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a chef. Whose name is Remy. His name is not Ratatouille. You people need to get your stuff straight. And you've got Bilbo Baggins in there.
Yes.
You've got John Ratzenberger in probably his most obscure cameo. Yes,
yeah, agreed.
Because it's not until you know who he plays that you can hear his voice in the character, which is like kudos. Yes. I like it when y'all do that.
Yes,
when I can't tell who you are in real life, But it did throw me. It's like, oh, I didn't hear John Ratzenberger in this movie. Look it up. Oh, it was him. Interesting. I think I knew more of this from the short that came out on the Blu-ray when the Blu-ray came out. Your Friend the Rat.
Yes.
Which is funny. If you're looking for a good short, definitely watch that. But and I watched Lifted, also the short that would have been in theaters with this.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Okay, I was gonna go watch that.
Yeah, it is funny. But other than that, I mean, it's a fun movie. It's an enjoyable movie. You can definitely let kids watch it, even though I think this is the most violent Pixar movie.
Pretty much. It's
actually more violent than The Incredibles.
Yeah.
And The Incredibles featured people punching robots, but
yeah,
if it involves superhero fights,
eliminate a rat.
There are like 2 or 3 scenes here that just made my skin crawl.
Yeah, agreed.
So if you're not good with swarms of rats, I will say that maybe not jump into this one.
Yeah, definitely. If you have a rat, well, I think it's not a ratophobia, but like you're afraid of rats, do not watch this film.
Yes, but yeah, it's an interesting movie.
It'll give you cheddar nightmares.
That's my thoughts on this, and I actually have I'll get to that in a minute. What is your thoughts on this?
Spoiler-free thoughts. I did not see this in theaters. I think I saw a trailer for it. And I was like, okay, it's a rat who cooks. Boring. And I passed it up. So I think I caught it somewhere. I was at someone's house or at my parents' place at the time I was still living with my parents. I think I saw like he was in the kitchen and just that scurry moment. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, it's that rat movie. Oh, okay. And then Drew brought it up as, oh yeah, we're going to do Ratatouille. It's, oh yeah, the rat movie. I totally forgot about that movie. And then I finally watched it and I was like, that's really good. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Really good storytelling. It's a little awkward here and there, but
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. I enjoyed it. Is it family friendly? Yes, absolutely. If you are afraid of rats, do not watch this movie
because there are rats.
There are rats everywhere,
and they move realistically.
Yeah, they move like a rat.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. Either way, I know. I have an aunt who loves mice and loves rats. She probably loves this movie, so hi, Aunt Jody. So yeah, it's definitely family friendly. It's got, like Drew said earlier, it has a lot more violence. It's probably the most violent Pixar film they've made so far. And I have to say that Brad Bird killed it like he normally does as a director. So yeah, this is a great film. So yeah.
And that's going to bring us to the end of our first bit here.
Yes.
So join us on the other side of the bumpers, and we will get to spoiling this thing. Okay, since we had the internet malfunction thing there, the power, pretty much everything before 8:23, which was in the middle of the news, is gone.
Oh, wow.
So I can't read that stuff. So, guys, I am sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And so we only have 3 things to read here. Josh says yes. I think that was when I asked, hey, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he told us that the guy I couldn't think of the name of is Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger. Yeah.
And then
I almost like Kilgrave, but it's Killmonger.
Star Chala.
Star Chala. Yes. Star Chala.
That's what we got so far in the chat. Other than Ryan's post from earlier, which for some reason stayed.
Yeah.
But all the Twitch ones just went away.
They twittered away.
Must be how it sends stuff.
Yeah, I guess
Facebook it can check quickly, but Twitch it can't.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you ready to jump into this?
Yeah, let's dive into the soup.
Let me bring up my notes right quick. And Jiminy Crickets. Oh, Josh says he's going to follow you at Comic Palooza.
You're going to follow me at Compalooza.
That's what he says.
Okay, then.
I don't know if that's on Facebook or if that's in real life.
All right, because, well, I know he said he possibly might be going to Compalooza. That's great. Be like, We'll meet up and hang out. That's great. Be like, great. Now I got a stalker. Great.
You've not seen Kill Bill, have you?
No, I have
you
not.
You don't know what I'm whistling?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Watch Kill Bill.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Then you understand why I was whistling that song.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, coming back in. The following is a spoiler-filled review for the movie Ratatouille. Ratatouille. Listener discretion is advised. Ratatouille was written and directed by Brad Bird, who did The Incredibles and The Iron Giant. And it was also written and directed partially by Jan Pinkava, who okay.
We're good.
We're not doing this on purpose, Josh. I swear.
We're not. Sorry.
Okay, so
we get power surges like
this is the worst it's been in like 5 years.
yeah.
Of course it is. We're trying to record a podcast. Oh boy. I have to hear that every week, you know that?
Oh boy.
It's not a bad thing. It's just I have to listen to it so I can make sure it times up right. Anyway, I think I just finished Jerry's Game. Was the last thing I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was also written by. Hang on. Okay, it was also written by Jim Capabianco, who wrote The Lion King, or one of the writers on The Lion King, anyway. Oh, okay. One of the 30, 40 writers on The Lion King. A lot of writers. Yes. Getting into the cast, we got Remy being played by Patton Oswalt, and he played Professor Dementor in Kim Possible.
He played who again?
Professor Dementor.
I'm trying.
I don't know the character. It's just like, ooh, Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Bring it up. I know Jacob likes it.
Yeah.
I assumed you might know who the character was. I think it was like a 1-episode deal.
I think, yeah, because I remember he was in.
That's what I saw on IMDb.
Because I'd be like, I loved Kim Possible. I still want to, get the whole season. But Dr. Dementor,
Professor Dementor.
Oh yeah, I think he was like one of the villains, like arch
with
rivals.
A name like Dementor. I hope he's a villain.
Yeah, he's one of oh come on, what's the villain's name of that show? I'm failing as a fan. Draken. Yeah, Draken's
Lord Draken. No,
Lord
Draken.
Not Lord, that's Power Rangers.
Hey, I'm reading that comic book right now, so
okay. Yeah, probably one of Draken's arch rivals or like one of his mentors or something like that. I remember that Oswald was voice acting for one of the episodes, and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh, it's all coming back to me now. Like Indeed. A certain song.
So going forward, we've got Skinner, being played by Ian Holm, who is probably most famous for playing Bilbo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings, but not the Hobbit, as that was the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Linguini was played by Lou Romano, and in The Incredibles, he played Bernie Crop. Bernie Crop. Django was played by Brian Dennehy, of course, named after the character Django.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Dennehy played Cobb in Silverado.
Mm.
Emil was played by Peter Sohn, and in The Good Dinosaur, he was the pet collector.
Mm.
That was the crazy Triceratops that had all the birds.
Oh, yeah.
Anton Ego was played by Peter O'Toole, most famous for playing Lawrence in Lawrence of Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Gusteau was played by Brad Garrett, who you probably know more as Hookhand in Tangled.
Oh, yeah.
And Eeyore in Christopher Robin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bother.
Wrong character.
That's like anytime I hear Eeyore, I think, oh, bother. Because
it's Pooh that says, oh, bother.
Yeah, because I know.
For those of you who want to clap, now is the time. Is it bad that I can do Eeyore?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Continue.
Anyway, Colette was played by Janine Garofalo. And in the movie Mystery Men, she played a character named Bowler.
Okay.
I didn't watch Mystery Men, but I think this is the girl with the bowling ball with that skull in it. If you've ever seen the commercial for it, which is about all I've seen.
Right.
I know our friend Chase loves the movie. Horst was played by Will Arnett, who recently in our show played Mr. Perkins in Despicable Me.
Right.
Lalo and Francois was played by Julius Callahan, and he played Kirst, a.k.a. the Ad Blaster, in something called the Marshmallow Mystery Tour. He didn't have much to pick from.
Okay.
I think it had like 5 cast roles. Okay. One of this was this. Another one was Ratatouille, the video game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I had to buy pick of like 3 other things, and I saw the words the Ad Blaster, and I had to pick that one. Because I don't know what that means, but it's crazy.
All right.
LaRousse was played by James Remar, and in the television show Jericho, he played Jonah Prouse. And Mustafa, a.k.a. the waiter, was played by John Ratzenberger, a.k.a. Cliff Clavin from Cheers, and Pixar's own Lucky Charm, and has been in every single movie.
Agreed.
Jumping into the Kingdom Hearts connections, Bill Farmer, who played a Paris citizen in this movie. Of course, he's Goofy in Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
John Ratzenberger, who I mentioned played Mustafa, is, of course, Ham in Kingdom Hearts. And Brett Brooke Parker was an animator in this movie.
Okay.
And she was Trailer Mom in Kingdom Hearts. In other words, remember from Monsters Incorporated, the mom with the shotgun who the kid says, "Ma, get the shotgun. The gator's got in the trailer again." That I think that it has to be archive audio they use, but it's her.
Okay, got it.
Playing the role. So yeah, and that brings me to the end of the Kingdom Hearts connections.
Okay.
So info and stuff, if you please.
All right, so info and stuff. You, if you are a subscriber and what would you call that? If you subscribe to Disney Plus,
if you watch Disney Plus, if you own Disney,
if you
don't own Disney Plus, Disney who owns Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But if you have a subscription to Disney Plus,
yes, thank you. If you have a subscription to Disney Plus, it's available on Disney Plus right now, and which will probably be forever. On IMDb,
forever.
On IMDb, it has an 8 out of 10 production. It was done by Walt Disney Pictures and Pixar Animated Studios. It was distributed by, obviously, Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It was released on June 22nd, 2007 at the Kodiak. I want to say Kodiak.
Kodiak is a bear.
I know where I'm aware of that, but the camera company.
Kodak.
I knew this. I was looking at the word. I can't see the word for some reason. Kodak Theater. Going into box office, it had an estimated budget of $150 million. Its U.S. and Canada gross was $206.4 million. I think it made money back.
Yes,
definitely. Its opening weekend, I skipped that for some reason. It was out of order. Its opening weekend for U.S. and Canada was $47 million. That's kind of abysmal. But then it definitely made its money back. World gross, I'm just gonna say it made the same. It made a lot more money.
Yeah,
because for some reason it's not here.
It happens.
It does.
I probably distracted you in the notes.
Who knows? No, I did these notes before I get over here.
Oh, well, never mind then. I couldn't have distracted you.
Yes. All right. So home release. Disney released Ratatouille on high definition. All right. Let me start over. Its home release, Disney released Ratatouille on high definition Blu-ray disc and DVD in North America on November 6, 2007. A DVD release was released the same day. It earned it sold 4.9 million units, the equivalent of $7.37 million on its first weekend. That's the weekend of the 6th and 7th of November of 2007. Ratatouille was released on 4K Blu-ray on November 19th, 2019, and it is now available on Disney Plus if you subscribe to Disney Plus. That is all I have for info and stuff.
All right, jumping into the summary. Remy is a young rat with unusually acute senses of taste and smell who dreams of becoming a chef like his idol, the late Auguste Cousteau. However, the rest of his colony, including his brother Emile and his father and clan leader Django, are interested in food only for sustenance. One day, while scavenging the house for an elderly woman for ingredients, Remy accidentally reveals his clan to the woman. The rats are forced to flee, and Remy is separated from the others. He winds up in the sewers and, encouraged by an imaginary Cousteau, eventually finds himself above the kitchen of Cousteau's restaurant in Paris. When Remy notices the restaurant's new garbage boy, Alfredo Linguini, attempting to fix a soup he has ruined, he jumps in and fixes Linguini's mistakes. Linguini catches Remy in the act, but does not reveal him to Skinner, Cousteau's former sous chef and the owner of the restaurant. Skinner confronts Linguini for tampering with the soup, but when the soup is accidentally served and proves to be a success, Colette Tito, the restaurant's only female chef, convinces Skinner to retain Linguini so as to uphold Cousteau's motto, anyone can cook. However, Skinner demands that Linguini replicate the soup in order to keep his job. Skinner spots Remy trying to escape and orders Linguini to take him outside and kill him. Once they're alone, Linguini discovers that Remy can understand him, and he convinces Remy to help him cook at Cousteau's. The two learn that Remy can guide Linguini's movements like a marionette by pulling on his hair while hiding under his toque. Together, they are able to reproduce the soup and continue cooking regularly at Cousteau's. Colette begins Linguini's training in the kitchen, begrudgingly at first, but comes to appreciate someone heeding her professional advice. Remy reunites with Emile and his clan, but while Django tries to convince Remy that it's impossible to change humans' disdainful nature towards rats, Remy affirms that change is nature. Skinner learns through a letter from Linguini's mother that Linguini is Cousteau's illegitimate son and rightful owner of the restaurant. When Remy discovers the letter in Skinner's office, Skinner chases Remy around Paris to retrieve it, but Remy gives it to Linguini, who forces Skinner out. The restaurant thrives as Remy's recipes become popular. Linguini's life improves, and he develops a romantic relationship with Colette. Meanwhile, Anton Ego, a food critic whose negative review of the restaurant indirectly led to Cousteau's death, learns of its rising success and announces he will dine at the restaurant. After Linguini takes credit for Remy's cooking, he and Remy have a falling out. Pressured by Emile and his own frustration, Remy hastily leads the clan to raid the restaurant's pantries for food. Linguini arrives mid-raid to apologize,
but upon discovering the raid, furiously drives all the rats out, Remy included. The next day, Remy is captured by Skinner, but is promptly freed by Django and Emile. Linguini reconciles with Remy and reveals the truth to his staff, who, feeling deceived and betrayed, all walk out. However, after being reminded of Gusteau's motto, Colette returns to help. Impressed by Remy's determination, Django and the clan offer to help, cooking under Remy's direction while Linguini waits tables. When Skinner and the health inspector attempt to interfere, they are bound and gagged. Remy creates a variation of Ratatouille, which reminds Ego of his mother's cooking. Astounded by the dish, Ego asks to meet the chef, but is told he must wait until the restaurant is empty. Upon being introduced to Remy, Ego is stunned. However, he writes a glowing review that states that he has come to understand Gusteau's motto and that Remy is nothing less than the finest chef in France. Skinner and the health inspector are eventually released, and the restaurant is shut down due to health concerns, causing Ego to lose his job and credibility as a critic. However, Remy, Linguini, and Colette open a popular new small bistro, La Ratatouille, which Ego invests in and frequently visits. The rat colony settles into the bistro's attic as their new home. So getting into the trivia for this episode, Jan Pinkava's involvement in the film ended after a few years when John Lasseter decided that his leadership and vision required to helm a full-length animated feature were simply not there, because he was the first writer and director of the film.
Oh, okay.
Brad Bird, who had just finished The Incredibles, was asked to help out whenever he inundated Lasseter with appealing story ideas for the project. Eventually, he was given the reins while Pinkava left the company. This is the final Pixar movie to use the customized Walt Disney Pictures logo that debuted in Toy Story in 1995. After that, the new logo that had been introduced the previous year in Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest would be used for Pixar movies since Walt Disney Pictures purchased/acquired Pixar in 2006. Pet rats were kept at the studio in the hallway for more than a year so that the animators could study the movement of their fur, noses, ears, paws, and tails. To find out how to animate the scene where the head chef is wet from falling in the river, they actually dressed someone in a chef suit, put him in a swimming pool to see which parts of the suit stuck to his body and which parts you could see through. In France, where this movie is set, the movie broke the record for the biggest debut for an animated movie.
Wow.
Marketing tie-ins proved to be problematic for this movie, as no food product company wanted to be associated with a rat.
I wonder why.
Remy has 1.15 million hairs rendered,
Jeez.
whereas Colette has 115,000 hairs rendered. An average person has about 110,000 hairs. At about the 1 hour and 14-minute mark, nearly every the Pizza Planet truck from the Toy Story franchise, which appears in nearly every Pixar movie, is seen. The truck appears on the bridge over the Seine in the scene where Skinner chases Remy. At around 16 minutes, when Remy is climbing out of the sewers for the first time, he is barked at by a dog in one of the houses. You only see the dog's silhouette, but it's very obvious that it's actually the dog Doug from Pixar's then still in production movie Up.
Huh. That makes sense.
The animation team worked alongside chef Thomas Keller at his restaurant, French Laundry, in order to learn the art of cooking. Mr. Keller also appears in a cameo role as the voice of a patron at Gusteau's. The ratatouille dish prepared by Remy is the alternate variation called confit bialdi. It was adapted by film consultant Thomas Keller. The variation differs much from the conventional ratatouille in terms of preparation and method. The major difference is that the vegetables used are sliced thinly and baked instead of cooking them in the pot. Chef and television personality Anthony Bourdain's favorite food-centric movie. Bourdain said, "They got the food, the reactions to food, and the tiny details to food really right, down to the barely noticeable pink burns on one of the characters' forearms. I really thought it captured a passionate love of food in a way that very other films have."
Okay.
Brad Bird cast Patton Oswalt in the main role after hearing his stand-up routine about the menu at the Black Angus Steakhouse. Veteran Disney animator Victor Habush, who worked on Sleeping Beauty, Lady and the Tramp, and 101 Dalmatians, called this movie the best animated film since Pinocchio.
Wow.
Yeah. Gusteau's first and last names are anagrams of each other. The changes that Brad Bird brought to Jan Pinkava's original story were that he killed off Gusteau, gave larger roles to Skinner and Colette, and also redesigned the rats to make them look a bit more like rats. At around 1 hour and 6 minutes, the room in which Anton Ego writes his review is shaped like a coffin, and the back of his typewriter resembles a skull face, appropriate since he writes killer reviews. Walt Disney Pictures was reluctant to push this movie as a nominee for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, fearing that members might overlook it in the Best Animated Feature category, where it was deemed to be a lock. Instead, they concentrated their efforts on making sure it won the animated category. To create a realistic-looking compost pile, artists photographed and researched the way real produce rots. 15 different kinds of produce were left to rot and then photographed, such as apples, berries, bananas, mushrooms, oranges, broccoli, and lettuce. Several changes to the design of the rats, primarily in the nose and ears, were made after Debbie Ducommun, a rat expert, brought down several of her personal pets for the art and animation departments to observe. The wine ordered by Anton Ego, Chateau Cheval Blanc, 1947, is a real wine, a Grand Cru Bordeaux blend from the Saint-Emilion region, and an excellent vintage as well. I wouldn't know I'm reading this off the trivia, because I don't drink. Bottles stored properly should be in their prime drinking window as late as 2050. A bottle ordered in a restaurant would probably be priced in excess of $4,000 in 2012 dollars.
Wow. Jeez.
To save time and memory when animating the movie, human characters were designed and animated without toes. I didn't even know they animated anything that wasn't seen on screen in any of these movies.
They don't animate the toes?
If they're in shoes,
That would make sense.
But I would think they would never animate the toes if they were in shoes, no matter what movie it was.
Agreed. Wow.
Colette says that the sous chef, Horst, has been in prison, which is why he is so rough. French prisons are considered the toughest in the world, so Horst's mannerisms are perfect for his experiences. And last but not least, the cockroach Hal from Wall-E in 2008 is seen on the wall of Linguini's apartment when he turns the light on and tries to get his bike into the apartment. This was a nod to the next Pixar movie that was coming up right after this one, Wall-E. And that brings me to the end of our trivia, which I want to go ahead and give my first like.
Go for it.
And that is Anton Ego's review of the dish.
At the end of the movie, right?
At the end of the movie. And I'm going to go ahead and read. I actually have the quote here. It's long. I'm going to read the whole thing right quick for you.
Go for it.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is really in the first couple lines. It's something I think all of us critics, both professional and armchair, need to remember.
Right.
In many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little, yet enjoy a position over those who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. We thrive on negative criticism, which is fun to write and to read. But the bitter truth we critics must face is that in the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is probably more meaningful than our criticism designating it so. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is the discovery and defense of the new. The world is often unkind to new talent and new creations. The new needs friends. Last night I experienced something new, an extraordinary meal from a singularly unexpected source. To say that both the meal and its maker have challenged my preconceptions about fine cooking is a gross understatement. They have rocked me to my core. In the past, I have made no secret of my disdain for Chef Cousteau's famous motto, anyone can cook. But I realize only now do I truly understand what he meant. Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. It is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the genius now cooking at Cousteau's, who is, in this critic's opinion, nothing less than the finest chef in France. And I will be returning to Cousteau soon, hungry for more. And like I said, the main point I'm bringing up here is in those first couple sentences where it talks about how easy it is for critics to be evil, for lack of a better term, to be hurtful, to not give anything a chance because it doesn't meet a certain level of what we think is important. Because I mean, we're critics, as much as I hate to say that, but we are critics.
Yeah.
And it is very easy for us to sit here and, just talk about how horrible something is and how much we hate it and how we wish everything was like at this critical level of art appreciation and all this stuff. I don't think we do that, but I mean, I'm sure we can be guilty of it in some instances when there's something we really like and something we really hate for no other reason than it just doesn't fit our thing.
Right.
I don't know if this was actually the theme of this. Because honestly, I think it's what's said later on in this quote where it's not everyone can be a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's more the theme.
Yeah.
But it's in knowing that first part I think is very important because it's so very easy for us to just hate something because we hate it and because we hold, at least in our case, at least a minuscule amount of influence over how others might perceive something.
Right.
I think it is very important that we are kind and fair to every movie we review.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's something most critics forget.
Yeah, exactly. It's taking those little like the gems of the film, be like, yeah, you may not completely agree with the film, or be like, you maybe like kind of brown notes a little bit. It's like, oh, this is way below me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is so petty. This is so generic. This is so be like blasé. Like there's nothing new to this, but there's always something. There's always a diamond in the rough in anything, and it's always giving people that the opportunity to let their art, the lack of word, shine.
Yeah. And
to give people the credit that is due and not just completely bash them or like some movie critics are more, be like, oh, it's cliche, they're using all the same old and just bashing a film because that's what everybody does.
It's easy to bash something.
Very easy.
It's harder to take a look at what they're doing and understand why they're doing it and why what they're doing actually works.
Exactly.
That's the main thing I want to get at. And the thing is with us armchair critics, which is anytime we're on Facebook and just talking and letting ourselves be heard, it's very easy for us to gatekeep.
Yeah.
Against what we think is good and bad and what shouldn't be done and should be done.
Right.
And I'm bringing that up because of my first dislike, ironically, when we get to the dislikes. So,
alrighty.
Until we get to that point, what is your first like?
All right, let me get to my notes because apparently something popped up and I was like, what in the world?
You distracted?
No.
Hey, it ain't
so. All right. So, my first like is the rat cam. The way that Brett Bird, really? Brad Bird directed this film. Because they were like, oh, we're going to use like traditional shots and something like, no. We want to follow the rats. We want to be like, we want to get down to their level. And because it's about them. It's their movie. It's primarily Remy's movie. It's so he came up with this idea, and it's nothing new, definitely from 2007, but they literally set the camera on the floor and shot up to everything that's going on. giving it more of the perspective from the rat. And I thought that was just like very unique because like you really don't get that a lot. But like, yeah, you get from like the human perspective of everything. And you get like from the human perspective, like from the humans level. But when you get down to like the nitty gritty and like get all these amazing like upward shots of the characters, and it's just it's incredible. The storytelling within the camera work is incredible. You get these nice sweeping not mosaics, but sweeping shots of say for example, Remy, he's walking back to Gusteau's.
Yeah.
Like he's all juvie and he says, "Hey, how you doing?" The guy crashes in the car and his bread goes everywhere because it's all from Remy's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming towards the camera and it's just like you see him coming and it's like, oh, okay, that's great. You know, it's understanding because we normally it's like, okay, let's put the shot here, let's put it here, let's like no, let's put it down here, let's put it like nitty gritty, let's make it let's make it dirty, like dirty camera operating. And I thought it was great. It was really unique and very clever for Brad Bird to think in that way, because that's what most artists think. It's okay, how can I create a scene that is going to make people think for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, let's use a different like a boom operator or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's literally thinking, because in animation you don't think, oh, this is the camera. It's like, no, you think you just set your shot and you just go from the angle. Like, no. Set it. Actually, there's a camera there and it's following everywhere. Or the example of where what is our not Remy's puppet? What's his name?
Oh,
Linguini. So when he's trying to recreate the soup, and Remy's controlling him, which is like, how in the world do you control a person just through his hair?
You just do.
You just do. But
apparently his hair is tied to some nerve endings that can control
exactly. So he's this big marionette. So the one of the scenes I love is where Remy is controlling him, and he's like, because most of the time be like with a camera, because be like you run camera at church.
Yeah.
And so you'll be like you if you've done it and you understand how the person on the platform they move, it's like, okay, here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's left, right, center, center, left, right. Be like, you understand that, but
you hope they don't
make deviate.
A weird movement.
Yeah, they don't deviate. But in this one, when they were setting that shot up, it was like, okay, think of it as like you don't know where this character is going. It's not be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna track him the entire time. It's like, no, because there's one point where well,
I mean, for most of the scene you're talking about, Linguini doesn't know which way he's going.
Yeah.
And Remy is not really good at controlling Linguini yet.
Yeah.
So
it's quite literally like Linguini. I'm saying that right?
Linguini.
Thank you. Linguini. I'm going to butcher that name to death. Linguini.
Just call him L.
Linguini.
Anyways,
so like they're following Linguini around, and because most of them be like, you'll just track him. You'll track him with the camera, but they didn't do that. They symbols like the camera operator had no idea he was doing this. So it's literally you have to like he just does this big jerk movement, and so the camera has to follow him, just a jerk movement. And yeah, that's always fun. I've had to do that in camera work. Just over here, this so you just get that like huge wide motion. It's just I love that because it gives that spontaneous. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah.
If you're looking from output perspective and not understanding he's controlled by a rat.
Exactly.
But I love the camera movements in the movie. It's like you get some nice sweeping films, and then it's others. It's so spontaneous and like you're moving around like you're actually there. And I thought it was really unique on Brad Bird's part to take that perspective. Mm-hmm. Definitely with the camera operating within a digital platform. So yeah, that's my number one, the rat cam.
Okay. My number two is that we get a happy ending, but it's not the happy ending you're expecting.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. The happy ending we're all expecting is everyone learns that Remy is actually a good chef. And the fact that he's a rat's not really a concern. And once Gusto's stays open, everything's all happy hunky-dory. Nope, the Gusto's gets closed.
Yeah.
Because the kitchen was filled with rats. You can't really work with that.
No, you can't.
And
it's a health hazard. Get rid of the rats.
Because of that, not only is Gusto's closed, but Anton Ego, who just wrote a glowing review of the restaurant, that review I just read a minute ago, he loses all credibility.
Yeah.
Whatever credibility he still had outside of being just a evil, horrible curmudgeon of a food critic.
Yeah.
He just lost any of the goodwill he had left because he wrote a glowing review of a rat-infested restaurant. And, Remy, Linguini and Colette, they're at least together, but they're not in Gusto's because Gusto's is pretty much gone at this point. But it's still a happy ending because Remy is cooking. He's being accepted as a cook. Mm-hmm. I don't know how any of that works because I assume you still have a rat-infested kitchen. Yeah. But because it's a bistro and not a 5-star restaurant, I guess that's why they can get away with rats in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anton Ego is eating apparently his new favorite food
because he orders it
every time. And you'll notice he has gained weight in those scenes. So he's been eating a lot.
Yeah.
Because he now swallows. Remember, he says if he doesn't love it, he doesn't swallow. Yeah, that's why he's so skinny. And he's invested in it. And no one's batting an eye that a restaurant named La Ratatouille has rats in it. So it's like the movie has a happy ending, but it's a happy ending with like little logic.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, but it's still a good happy ending. It wasn't the ending you were expecting.
Right.
Because logically they couldn't do the ending you're expecting, but yet somehow they still did that. But anyway, Ratatouille is interesting in its ending. But
it is.
I like that we actually still got a happy ending. It's just not the happy ending.
Yeah.
It's a happy ending, and that's fine. You don't have to do the quote unquote perfect ending. You can do an ending that does what you want it to do, but not in the way you expected it to do.
Agreed.
And so that's my number 2 is the unexpected happy ending.
All right, so my number 2 is actually the weathering effects.
Oh yes,
yeah. The I'm talking wind. I'm talking rain. I'm talking like wet fur. Fur in 2007. And it's just like, whoa, okay, they really did some studying. They really did their due diligence on this film, and it was just absolutely incredible. Like all the rain scenes where Remy's father shows him the kill shop. I'm gonna call it the kill shop, and just like the rain effects and like all like the like I said, the weathering effects are just amazing in this film. Like water, like you're watching, it actually looks like a river. I'm like, you take probably 5 years earlier, there's no way on earth they could have done that and make it look realistic. Now, granted, be like looking at from 2007 to 2021, there's a huge.
It's gotten better, but it's not like super better.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the water is still like on point for this time from what this is.
Exactly.
Because I mean, we've gotten better with they've gotten better with particle animation.
Yes.
Not that we had fire to compare with anything in this movie.
Yeah. Well, there's some fire elements.
There's some fire, but it really does feel like it's more reflective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's a stock fire shot they did for a movie years ago.
Yeah.
It's not a new one, but yeah. I agree with you. The water in this film is amazing in how it's handled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just saying the elements and the you just said it a second ago. Particle effects.
Particle effects.
The particle effects.
The hardest thing for CG animation to do.
Yeah, exactly. Particle effects. The particle effects in this film is absolutely incredible for a 2007 film, and they just nail it out of the park. Definitely when it comes to the hair in this movie. Oh my
yes.
gosh, the hair. It's just the thing be like,
You thought Sully was bad.
oh my gosh.
But so go ahead.
Yeah, in that same way, be like, you think Tangled comes out in 2010.
Yeah.
And Tangled does like, you feel like you have 70-ish
Miles of hair.
And they just Pixar just brings it and just they bring their A game. They slam it out of the park.
One thing I do want to go back and rewatch is to see how the particle effects of the gunpowder coming out of the Tom and Jerry French lady's gun looks like.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that.
I just thought of it now because that's actually my number 3. Like, is the Tom and Jerry French lady at the beginning of this film, because it's like, oh look, they're making a reference to Tom and Jerry because there's a rat.
Yeah,
and she's trying to shoot it with a shotgun in her little house, and of course, all those little shots lead to the best reveal at this beginning of this part of this movie, because you know that there's a rat colony somewhere in this house.
Yeah,
you just don't know where it is.
Yeah,
they haven't showed it. They just say, "Oh, you have some shots of the rat colony and everything," but they never. There's no one looking down, watching Remy down there.
Yeah,
or anything like that. It's just like, where's Remy? Well, I think he's in the kitchen. What's he doing in the kitchen? And then she's doing all the shotguns going off and going every which way. And then all of a sudden, the roof caves in with the entire rat colony right there. And they and the old lady stare at each other for a couple minutes before the rats scurry and run like the wind.
Yeah,
it's like that was clever.
That was clever
because that actually made me laugh. Like, I wasn't expecting to laugh at any of this part, but the way it was leading up with the slapstick and the Tom and Jerry-esque humor in there to get to that one point, and the whole thing falls down, and an entire colony of rats that has been living in this lady's attic for who knows how many years just crash lands in her kitchen and then runs over her like a plague-infested European town in the time of the Black Plague.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah.
That scene in particular during the featurettes, because I love watching featurettes on films. And so I
didn't have time to watch the featurettes on this one.
But so at one point, Brad Bird is describing this scene, and he describes it as like the old lady who was part of resistance during World War II in France.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, she be like she was like a killer shot when she was younger, but now she's like 80 years old and she could barely see, and she's just like firing blindly. I thought that was like, oh, okay, that's clever, like giving some background to a character, and all her purpose is to make this Remy and his obsession with food, and his what is his brother's name? Emil running around like a rat, and it's like you're gonna draw her to the colony. Well, she does. She shoots the ceiling out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was the cleverest move in the planet. That was such a great, just like technical move where you don't realize where she's shooting.
Yeah.
And then you get that full shot. It's like, oh, she shot the ceiling apart. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
So
there's a rats.
While I was sitting in here watching this thing, because bear in mind, this whole beginning, I don't remember from the first time I watched the movie. So this was probably the first time I saw this part. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, and the ceiling falls, and the rats are there. And in the back of my mind, I heard your voice go, "Oh my God." That's what I heard. So
it's a bunch of rats.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
What's your third and final dislike?
Like. All right, so my third I'd say it's Remy's redemption of like he knows he screwed the pooch, like he messed up, and be like he got bitter, he got just jealous, and it's like you're gonna kick me out. And it's like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna bring the entire colony in, and it's just like it's one of the charms of this film where you have your main protagonist just goes and just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna mess everything up. Be like, oh, it doesn't matter because he's already being warned by his what would you call Gusteau?
Figment of his imagination.
Yeah, his figment.
That's what it was.
Yeah, his figment is, warning him. It's like, yeah, do not steal, do not do this because it's going to make problems for the company. It's make problem for you. It's going to make problems for everybody. But his goofy brother has to bring his friends with him, and it's like, oh, okay, we're going to steal food here. We're still able to here. And then when he gets rejected by L, I'm going to say, because I'm going to butcher his name to death. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to take my revenge, and I'm going to get the entire colony here, and we're just going to chow down. Which ultimately leads to, it's L has to reveal, it's like, oh, okay, don't kill the rat, because the rat's the one behind everything.
Yeah.
And then that's where, everybody leaves, and that's when the food critic's there, and everything's under the gun, and I'll be like, you boil it down and be like, it's Remy. It's Remy. It's his pettiness of wanting revenge for something, just a slight. And now he has to make it right. And so he be the idea of a family, a rat colony is a family.
Yeah.
I don't know what the technical term of.
Once again, a strange connection this time of year.
Yes, exactly. It's all about family.
That's what S9 is telling us. That's what
Black
Widow is telling us.
And
now Ratatouille. I don't know what the name of a rat outside a colony of rats. I don't know what the
colony of rats.
Group of rats are.
Yeah,
to answer your question.
It's a colony. As far as I understand, you might want to look it up, but I'll just call it a colony of rats or a family of rats. It's like, hey, your family, we're gonna stick together. But they wind up helping Remy.
It's a mischief.
A mischief. That makes sense.
Yeah.
A mischief
of rats.
Mischief of rats are become instant cooks and are helping prepare the meal. And the fact that they kidnap the inspector and the former head chef.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is not gonna work. You know that. It's like, what? He's in the freezer. It's like, huh? You left them in the freezer? Oh, they'll be fine.
You know what line just popped into my head from a previous movie review?
Okay.
The chickens, they're revolting. Finally, something we can agree on.
Oh yeah, agreed. So it's Remy's redemption, or his need to fix things, because it's not he's not Rapunzel from Tangled the series, where she has to make everything right. Everybody has to be friends, but it's more he has to make things right because he knows he messed up. He literally destroy. He has the potential of destroying everything, and he wants to make it right in his family, his rat family.
Yeah,
his rat family,
his rat mischief.
Let's go into rat mischief.
Just like Loki.
Yeah, very much mischief.
Anyway, my favorite Loki.
Why, thank you. All right, so yes. Wow, we got sidetracked in that one.
What's new?
Let's get.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, we're going crazy. Okay, we're going crazy. We got dislikes. We need.
Let's go into dislikes.
While we should be careful how we bash movies, we do still need to bash them some way.
Yeah.
And bringing up that same quote, you remember how I talked about how this movie is talking about not gatekeeping new stuff just because of some arbitrary rules and all that?
Yeah.
I find it then horribly ironic that at the very end of the credits for this movie is a hang on, pictures. Where'd he go? Right. There is a little sign right above the MPAA eyeball.
Yeah.
It's like my mom calls it, that says, "Our quality assurance guarantee, 100% genuine animation. No motion capture or any other performance shortcuts were used in the production of this film." That sounds an awful lot like gatekeeping to me and not being a friend to the new. Pixar, you were close. You were so very close, and you missed it by that much.
You dropped the pan.
To quote Maxwell Smart, missed it by that much. Because motion capture is a tool.
Yes.
It is not. It makes some aspects easier, but you still have to do a lot of animation cleanup when you make this tool, to my understanding.
Yes.
Admittedly, I've not done any motion capture or really any animation outside of a bad Pong thing I did in college. But my understanding when I did some reading on motion capture when I saw this, and I thought, wait a minute, why doesn't Pixar do motion capture? Is that still a rule for them? Is how much does motion capture really ease anything up? And apparently it really doesn't. All it does is make the movements more realistic, which is what you want anyway.
Right.
But you still have to go in there and, massage everything a little bit. And of course, the more polygons a model is made out of, the more massaging you got to do. Exactly. So why on earth are Pixar saying, yeah, we didn't take any shortcuts to make this obviously not animated realistically movie? Because it's not animated realistically. They are doing a lot of work to make it characters walk thing, but they're still not going for realistic animation.
Agreed.
They're still going for a not a quite full stretch and what do you call that? Stretch and squish? Stretch and squish. Whatever that term is. They're not going for that full Bugs Bunny-esque movement in this, not like Disney does.
Yeah.
But they are still going for a animated, not quite realistic, kind of got a nice flow and everything. That sort of thing. If they had used motion capture, some of this stuff may have been easier, but that's an artistic choice. That's a tool choice. That is not something that you broadcast. That's like, we're real animators because we didn't use motion capture. Yeah, but I don't know if that's really something to brag about. Yeah. It's just you didn't use a tool that was in your toolbox that you could have used. There may be artistic reason you didn't want to do that. Fine. Mm-hmm. But it's not a mark of pride that you should be bragging about, at least in my opinion. But that's just me. And I don't like the fact that Pixar gatekeeped in a way that really kind of looks bad on them now, if we're being honest. But anyway, that. Admittedly, if I had turned it off when the movie went to credits, I never would have saw this and it wouldn't have bugged me. But because as I have done with every movie I've watched since Iron Man, I don't turn it off till I see the eyeball. And right before the eyeball was that line. Mm. Pixar, y'all need to be careful about what you say.
Agreed. So kind of spurring off what you said. So I'm sitting in the theaters watching Black Widow. And this is a Marvel film, so of course there's going to be something at the end. There's always something.
Now don't spoil anything you're going to.
I'm not. So I'm sitting there and everybody starts getting up. I'm like,
what are you people doing?
What are you? I'm trying to do a rush to dust, and it's like, what are you doing? And they're like, have you not seen a Marvel film lately? Now it's more Scottish than anything, but still.
What are you standing around for? Don't you know a jailbreak when you see one? I just quoted the worst Star Trek movie, people. I am a nerd. Let's move on.
But either way, I'd be like, watching people leave the theater when this is a brand new film and there's something at the end. I'm not telling you what's at the end, but it's really good. Stay till the end of Black Widow and watch it. It's really good. But people could getting up.
Especially if you're not like Francisco Ruiz of the Retro Realm podcast and have actually seen Endgame. Just bringing that up.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I still need to rewatch that film.
Anyway, it's right there.
I own it.
Then watch it. Anyway,
I gotta get the time to watch it again.
I know the feeling. I do know the feeling. Either way. Did you actually mention your dislike?
No, I haven't yet. All right, so
this is a goofy episode.
Oh yeah. So I mentioned in my third like was Remy's redemption. Here's the part I don't like about it. Remy's petty revenge. I was like, Remy, like, dude, he just slighted you a little bit. And it'd be like, knowing Elle, I mean, like, he's going to come back and apologize for it. But you get so petty and so just like, it's, oh, he dissed me. Be like, oh, because I'm a rat. It's like, that's the idea of someone says, oh, I don't like what you did, but you're bringing up like a racial issue or something like that. But just the idea that this character gets so petty. He gets so petty about this. And like, oh, I'm going to make your life heck. So I'm going to bring the entire colony and we're going to eat. We're going to chow down and just make things worse, Remy.
Okay.
He doesn't think about it.
First off,
it drove me nuts.
Let me explain if you didn't. He's been throughout a large portion of that movie. Okay. Did you ever watch the movie, The Prestige?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. You should watch it. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman does a good role in it. Anyway, the point I'm getting is it's kind of like that, where in that movie, for a long period of that movie, he has to take, because of the way he does the teleporting man trick, he has to take his bows from beneath the stage.
Okay. While
his double upstairs that come out of the other teleportation box actually did the bow to end the program.
Okay.
So he's only up the, he's only like missing like the last bit, but it's always where he was getting his due.
Okay.
He was getting his due. He wasn't actually getting to be up there where everyone can see it. Yeah. Think about Remy's situation in this. The entire time Remy is in that toque.
Oh, yeah.
Remy knows he's the one making this food, but he's not getting any of the credit. Every bit of praise that Remy is hearing for his food is being made to Linguini.
Yes.
And when that part where you mentioned where he was only slightly slighted.
Yeah.
Imagine that being the needle on the camel's back.
Yeah.
He was feeling at one point he's having to deal with the mice wanting to sneak in and get food all the time. So he feels guilty for that, but yet he's maybe rationalizing that to himself. It's like, well, they need food. Linguini can mess a little bit extra. It's not going to be a big deal because we're not going to get caught.
Yeah.
And he's feeling a little guilty of that. It's like, well, I'm trying to do my best to get these guys food and all this. And I'm trying to help Linguini. I'm doing all the cooking for Linguini by controlling his hair. This kid would be nothing without the rat.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Is what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And Linguini is, in that press conference, and someone asks him, what is the secret to your cooking?
Yes.
If you've never had any if you never had any cooking training before. Now, also bear in mind, Remy tried to let everything up earlier, and it was Linguini who kept the hat on.
Yeah.
Because Remy nearly took the hat off to show, it's a rat controlling the guy.
Yeah, that's
true. And Link says, no, we can't do it. So you got that on his head. Plus, now Linguini is saying, oh, yeah, the secret, I guess it was just in my blood because I'm Gusteau's kid. Or, whatever. And you get to that point where he's not just feeling slighted. He's feeling like Linguini has just stabbed him in the back.
Yeah. Because
of everything else he's dealing with. Now, admittedly, Linguini didn't mean anything by it. Linguini was following the plan of keeping Remy's existence a secret, because if they found out a rat was in the kitchen, as we know from the end of the movie, Gusteau's was going to get closed.
Yeah.
Everything was going the way it should have.
Yeah.
But Remy took it personally because he thought he was more important than he.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Than he probably was. I'm not saying he was important because he's the one who knew how to cook.
Yeah.
But he let these things that had to be part of the plan in order for all this to work get under his skin, and that's why he's as angry and allows all the rats into the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, he just be like there's
a lot of psychological undertones.
There's a lot of
entire thing.
Yeah, he let his pride get in the way of him.
Exactly.
Just like a lot of characters in the movie, there's a lot of pride in here. And
to us, in reality, it was just a slight.
Yeah.
Didn't mean for that to alliterate, but whatever. But to Remy, it was like Remy had been wanting praise,
but he wasn't getting
any, and he felt like it.
he nearly became the most famous rat in all of France for one reason or another. Either he's a great cook, or there's a rat in Gusteau's kitchen and it's sitting on this guy's head. We must capture it and dissect it. It would have happened.
Yeah, it would have.
But Remy wasn't thinking. He was thinking, I should be the one getting the praise for all this good food, not Linguini, because Linguini is an idiot. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a bit like good points. Good points. So yeah, it was just more. I was. Let me refer. I was kind of disappointed, understanding full of the magnitude of everything, because my thought was like, okay, you just got slighted, even though L there was no intention that he was like trying to degrade Remy in any fashion or form.
Right.
He'd be like, he was just like, this is part of the plan, dude.
Yeah.
But
and
like
even if he was
Remy took it too far.
And even if Linguini was, basking in the pride a little bit, how would somebody who was praised as being considered called one of the best cooks not supposed to act like they're at least getting some praise?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, you can either be humble or you can appreciate what's being given to you. And either way, it's going to look like you're stabbing Remy in the back.
Yeah.
When you're not, he's playing a part. And even if he is getting a little prideful about it, I mean,
I think both characters got
understandable. They were both in the wrong in that situation, I believe, but also what was the right thing to do? It was a Kobayashi Maru scenario.
Yeah, agreed.
There was no winning of that scenario.
No, there wasn't. So yeah, it was just more. I think it was just to boil down the essence of it. It was Remy got his feelings hurt. He let his pride get ahead of him, and all your points very good, very very good. And he just Remy just took it too far and wasn't like putting into everything. He let his little rat feelings get hurt. And it's like, oh yeah, let's just raid the kitchen, raid the entire colony. And you just made things worse, Remy. But like, yeah, which was a good story point. It was just more like, Remy, come on.
Yeah.
Like be a better rat. Get your pride out of the way. Like, just like, okay, cool down, cool your fur. Don't get your your rat tail in a knot. And just calm down. But nope, he had to let the fur fly and be like, okay, I'm gonna get my revenge. And it's like,
and revenge is a dish best served cold
in a freezer.
Exactly. Anyway, we've gotten off. We've not gotten off topic, but we have chased this rat pretty far.
Yeah.
So we need to jump to the next dislikes.
Yes.
Which for me is actually the fact that I actually think the rats are too realistic, because there are so many moments in this film where, especially the rat swarms are the easiest part. There's like three rat swarms you see in this film, and all three of them make my skin crawl every time I see them. So I mean, yeah, you've got that, which is animated well, but it's like you could have gone a little more cartoony with that.
Yeah,
and I would have felt better. But also. Some other point about the rats being too realistic. Oh, the scene in front of the exterminator shop.
Okay.
Where Django takes Remy to...
That's right, yeah.
You see the dead rats hanging from the rat traps, and you're going, I'm not a fan of rats in general.
Yeah. But this
is a kid's movie, and you just showed 13 dead rats hanging like trophies
in a window.
And I know you're trying to give that moment of horror for Remy and to scare and make sure the kids understand, what could happen is really, really bad. But I'm sitting there going, I've seen that, and that looks too correct. Can we move on? This does not look like Ratigan from Great Mouse Detective.
No.
This looks like I think the dead rats look more realistic than the living rats.
Yeah,
if we're being honest.
Well, technically, like kind of going back to the featurette, where they actually had to tone it down a little because before the rats looked real.
They didn't tone it down enough because the movement is too.
It looks like a rat. I totally get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it. Totally get that. That is a very shocking scene, and it's poignant for its reasoning.
I know why it's there. Don't get me wrong, but you look at it and you're going, "Your point's made.
Yeah.
Let's move on."
Yeah.
Can we get back to the rat washing its hands so that it doesn't get dirt all over? Despite the fact, I'm just going to bring this up. Yeah, we see them clean all the rats at the end of that movie when they're getting ready to do their work in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Don't get me wrong.
It was a good idea.
But even if you take a bath before you go into a kitchen,
Yeah.
you still have to wash your hands. And we never saw any of those rats wash their hands. And bear in mind, they're all running around. Remy's the only one ever on just his back 2 feet.
Yeah.
Everyone else is still running around on all fours, which means no matter how clean that kitchen is, there's still dirt.
Yeah,
and it's getting in the food. There's a reason why you throw food away in a kitchen that's fallen on the floor. It's disgusting. I don't care how clean the floor is. There's something. And all their hands that are walking all the way across this are now touching all the food.
Yeah. Completely unsanitary.
Yeah, Anyway. What's your second dislike?
I would completely agree with you. Yes, that's my second dislike is that is one dirty kitchen. That is one dirty kitchen.
By the end of that, yes.
Yes. When it's animated beautifully.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Granted, be like if you don't like rats and like the scurrying and everything, you get past that. It's just like, oh my gosh. Be like, I would not if I knew what was happening. Like, there's rats fixing my food. They're on all fours. They're using their mouths to move things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get rabies here. No, I'm suing. No.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's a great scene. It's just like when you realize the ramifications of everything that's happening.
Yeah.
It's like,
who knows how. That's the thing. They could have said it was just the health inspector that reported it, and that's what got it closed down. People got sick that night. It just happened not to be Antonigo. Yeah. We just never saw any ramifications of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Some stuff happened, and we don't know about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it did.
Yeah. Guaranteed, because when a couple of people got sick because
that's the thing.
You have ratty chefs.
When it's just Remy sitting on Linguini's head, that's still Linguini's hands that's doing the work, and they are clean.
Yes.
Remy doesn't have to have clean hands while he's controlling the hair, although I'm sure Linguini would prefer it. But yeah, Anyway, what was your second dislike?
My second dislike was exactly yours, the dirty kitchen, because like thinking about it logically is like, oh my gosh, it's like that's a lot of paws on the ground that was just picking up dirt, picking up everything on that floor. Yeah. It is now cooking everything with those dirty paws.
And how did you're going to tell me no rat accidentally landed in one of those?
They did.
Burners? How did they not?
Yeah, exactly. Like you had rats falling into the stews and like everything. It's like
I don't care how well acrobatic they are. Crap went down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, have you
and
been
plus,
around
as realistic as they made these rats? You know there was pooping in the kitchen. You know there was. They didn't show that.
No, of course you.
This is the problem when you go this realistic. Is you have to make logical jumps about what probably was going on, even if they didn't show it. Because why would you show something like that? Anyway,
either way,
my third dislike. The title of this movie.
Ratatouille.
Yes. Let me explain why. Ratatouille is a title that screams symbolism.
Yeah. Ratatouille.
What is Ratatouille? It is a provincial dish made of stewed vegetables. It is something that should not be considered hot cuisine.
Yes.
And yet it is the thing that makes Antonigo it's just like Remy. It's something that should not be considered great, and yet by the end of this movie it is.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with it. When do they mention Ratatouille? The dish?
The very end of the film?
Yeah, right before you go into the climax. And then there's one other spot about midway when Skinner gets Linguini drunk.
Yeah.
And Linguini says, "Why do they call it Ratatouille?"
Yeah.
And I don't remember the rest of it. I just remember he says that line. And you get to thinking, if you had not mentioned the dish Ratatouille,
Yeah.
I would just assume this is like Brave or Frozen or Tangled, or something like that, where it's a descriptive of what's going on that happens to also be a rat French cuisine food pun.
Yeah.
And I could have left it there. But you made Ratatouille an important part of the story. Actually, even if they just had the restaurant at the end being La Ratatouille and just have that there, I would also accept this. But because they made it an important part of the story to such a point where they realize, hey, we need to mention this a little bit earlier, so let's bring this up in the scene where Linguini's drunk so we can get it mentioned earlier in the film. It makes that feel more important, to the point where I have to ask, why was the soup not Ratatouille? Not the Ratatouille from the end of the movie, but the more traditional Ratatouille. Or what about, say, the old French Tom and Jerry lady? What if she had Ratatouille cooking on the stove when Remy stole the cookbook? Mm-hmm. Or maybe that was that was what the cookbook page was open to when Remy stole the book. Or 1,000 other things that would allow Chekhov's gun to be there. You know the term Chekhov's gun?
I've heard of it.
Chekhov's gun states that if there is a gun on the mantelpiece in the first act, it must go off by the third act.
That makes sense.
We have Chekhov's gun go off in the third act, but we never saw it in the first act.
Yeah, agree.
Until Linguini gets drunk, as far as I know, Ratatouille is like a French word for rat, as far as I know, because I'm a stupid American who's never had French cuisine. I had never heard of Ratatouille before this movie was made. I didn't even know Ratatouille was a dish till the first time I saw the movie, because I never Googled this stuff. And I guarantee you, most people in America or the United States, whatever you call it, who don't know anything about French cuisine, and especially kids, they don't know what Ratatouille is either.
Yeah.
So the fact that you don't mention it until the very end, you have no lead up. There's no. They have to do the thing where it's like,
there's
Ratatouille, isn't that a peasant's food? And you go, well, maybe, but I don't know. You act like I should know what Ratatouille is. I've never heard of Ratatouille. You bring this thing up, it looks like you just sliced a bunch of meat and vegetables and put it on a plate and poured some sauce on it. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's good. I just know it exists.
Yeah.
And
I completely agree with you.
And I've never had Ratatouille, so I can't tell you how it tastes. But it's a vegetable. From what I can tell, it's either a vegetable stew or whatever that thing I said earlier that this actually was.
Yeah,
it's a type of Ratatouille.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
And what not bringing that in there, not giving us a little bit of a, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, a lead up.
Yeah,
not saying.
Or a lead in?
Yeah. What if this was Remy's first dish?
Yeah.
He made it small. Maybe that's what the that thing he was making, that he went in to get the little...
That would make sense.
And he was just making a very small version of it because he's a rat and he's the only one... He and Emil are going to be the only ones eating this thing. What if that's what he was doing? And his big signature dish is the Ratatouille that we see at the end. We would have this thoroughfare. The way it goes is we get a stupid joke about the fact that rat and Ratatouille have the same first three letters.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you think about it, I don't think the French word for rat is rat. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's rat. But so that pun is kind of a weird thing anyway. The word is so strange that on all the marketing material for this movie, because they were convinced no one would be able to pronounce the name here in America, they put the phonetic spelling on everything but the most recent releases. Every movie poster and every DVD case had the phonetic spelling above the word Ratatouille to let everyone know how you say the name of this movie. Because they were convinced no one would be able to say the name of it. Well, that's at least nicer than some other ones, but still, if the marketing team can catch on to the fact that most people aren't even going to be able to say the name of the movie, they may not know what the word means.
Probably.
So if you're gonna go in there, you need to explain quickly within the first act what a Ratatouille is, so you can actually see how the symbolism of Ratatouille is works with the rest of the film. Otherwise, I had to dig for 9% of it because I had to look up what a ratatouille was.
Yeah.
They should have put more thought into how the name related to the movie.
Agreed.
I have a feeling this is a name that was a part of the original pitch, and everyone loved it so much, and it wasn't until about 5/6, or some other really close percentage of the way through the movie, someone realized, hey, what if no one in the audience knows what a ratatouille is? Maybe we should mention this a little earlier in the film. Oh, we don't have time to animate a whole scene to explain what a ratatouille is in a way that makes sense. What if we just have drunk Remy make a joke about it? So let people know, well, this is a dish. You're watching a movie named after a dish.
Yeah.
And even then, that scene doesn't explain what ratatouille is. It's a joke.
Yeah.
So it's like,
now
it's an annoyance for me.
It is.
Because when you look at something like, say, Brave, it makes sense. She had to be brave in order to go and find the way to save her mother, who got turned into a bear, plus her 3 little kids.
Yeah.
Or 3
brothers.
Brothers. Frozen. Tons of symbolism there because it's her sister getting frozen. She's got ice powers, and it's dealing with the fact that her heart and her life feels frozen. There's a lot of symbolism there, and you can catch on to that very quickly.
Yeah.
Tangled. Yeah, you got the hair pun with the hair getting tangled, but all of these characters' lives are tangled together in a single mesh.
Exactly.
Why is this called Ratatouille? I don't know. What's a ratatouille?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Agreed.
Until you actually bother to look up what a ratatouille is, and you can kind of rationalize some of the symbols and see how it comes in there. It just is a weird name. And that bugs me.
Okay.
If you're going to make a one-word name, well, your title should be important. It should be one of the most important things you name a movie anyway. If you know it's got to have a title, you've got to be thinking, what is the title of this? Probably from the word go.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have a title that encapsulates what the movie is about.
I got you.
And I think they did that. It's just they've forgotten that process. We need to make sure the audience knows what the title is about.
Agreed.
It's not like that Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, where it's painfully obvious it's about a character named Indiana Jones, and he's going on the Last Crusade for the I think I said the Goblet of Fire.
Not quite the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail.
It's a cup.
Yeah, it's a cup. It's not like I don't have anything else easily where I can see it. Star Trek Into Darkness is the other poster I've got over here. It's Star Trek. Well, Star Trek, that's a television show from the 60s that dealt with the Enterprise. And they're going into darkness. I can follow it. It's not great, but it's a title that really encapsulates the Star Trek mythos at its darkest points is what it's trying to show.
Yes.
I can follow the reasoning for that title.
Exactly.
Ratatouille. What's a ratatouille? I don't know what this word means. You could have just said, you could just call this movie Rat.
Yeah.
Patouille.
Yeah.
And it would have made the same amount of sense to me. It wasn't until I watched the movie, knew what the theme was, and then went back and looked up to see what on earth the ratatouille dish was.
Agreed.
Because the only explanation they give is in a blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Sentence. It's a provincial dish. And that leads to everything that you've got to rationalize it all. And the time it takes when they say that line until the end of the movie, you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
To get it with the climax and still follow the movie. I understand respecting your audience to be able to follow your logic, but sometimes you do need to make it a little easier.
A little bit.
Especially when you're dealing with a foreign word to your, maybe not your only audience, because obviously they have a worldwide audience, but to a major portion of your audience who may not know anything about French food, which I'm going to say is a large portion of the general public around the world.
Probably.
The only people who are going to be you're going to absolutely know are going to get it is France. And guess what? It broke records there.
Yeah.
Because they knew what a ratatouille was. And they wanted to know why you named a movie about a rat Ratatouille. And they would have caught their saying, oh, you got to see this movie. It's got this great symbols, all this other stuff. And they'll go and the movie will make perfect sense to them. I go into this movie first time. I'm going, what's a ratatouille?
It sounds like a rat who's
Sounds
gonna.
like rat. I get the rat pun.
Rat.
Don't get me wrong.
Toot.
What is the ratatouille? Is that food? Is that a nickname? Is this a weird French word that means nothing? I don't know.
Is it a rat passing gas?
And so you've got to get past that. Thankfully, the Tom and Jerry bit, as I call it, at the beginning kind of gets you past the point of thinking about that.
Yes.
But there's still that part in the back of your mind. It's going, make the name understandable.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I ask.
Totally understand. Now
I kind of went off on
you're good.
a thing there.
Yeah.
The name is not a bad name. It's just they didn't do a good job of making the name relevant throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like if someone didn't know what a Chekhov gun was.
I explained that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you had someone who didn't know, I'm like, oh, Chekhov's gun, be like, oh, so Chekhov from the Starship Enterprise had a gun?
Well, maybe. He had a phaser. But
yeah, it's true. It didn't
the thing
work
is,
somewhere on another Enterprise.
The thing is, though, once I say, now that I've told you about Chekhov's gun,
yeah,
hey, go and look at it because I didn't get to explain it well enough in that short bit. But you'll see it in so many movies.
Yeah.
Because it's a good storytelling method.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, good rant, by the way.
Yes.
Very good.
With all the ranting I did for my dislikes, you probably think I'm giving this a low score. But what is your third and final dislike?
I really don't have a third dislike.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't be like, I'm thinking because I was be like, when you went into your first like, I was like, my third dislike was like, I can't use that one anymore. Because it's
explained it too well.
No, it's not you to explain it to. I'd be like, you explained it excellently. Like it was with the idea that a critic is like, you know, it's like, oh, it's this and this and this, and I wrote that for my third, and I was like,
your third dislike was the critic line.
No. There again, be like, sometimes I don't speak English.
I know. That's why I'm trying to translate.
Okay, so my third dislike was criticizing that the story was unoriginal in some capacities. And when you do your first like, and I was like, never mind.
Well, that's the thing. While I say as critics we need to be careful of such things,
yes,
you're still free to dislike something because you think it's cliche.
Then I was like, man, now I sound like a hypocrite. I don't want to say that. So yeah, be like, honest.
Okay, even if you don't want to call it your dislike now, please tell us your point.
My point.
What is cliche that you didn't like?
Okay, so the cliche, if I can say the words right, cliche. It is an interesting story that has been told over and over again. And there again, it's not a critique. It's not a. I'm not slamming this film at all. I love this film. It's a great film. There's just this particular story beat has been used multiple times. There again, there's this thing is an original idea. And so my critique of the film is that there is interesting originality within a story that has been told over and over again. Mm-hmm. So that is my critique of.
It's a dislike, but it's not really a criticism.
It's not really a criticism. It's
you wish the structure had more originality.
Yeah, exactly. It had
That's
a little
fair. That is very fair.
Yeah, so I'll be like, when you said that, it's like, crap, I can't say that.
No, that's the thing. That is not bashing the film.
No,
that is just
not.
Stating, I wish it had more of this.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, it's got the typical beats of everything. Like you see everything coming, like from a mile away. And there again, not bashing the film at all. It's a really well done film. It's just like everything that has been done, be like they've done in other films. This film does it excellently.
So what you're saying is that's like you're actually giving a critique.
Yeah,
that you wish that the film was more original.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The point I was getting at with that first one.
Yeah.
About people bashing stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Is
criticizing for no good reason
Yeah.
other than I am the critic.
Yeah.
Everything that I say tells you whether it's good or
bad. Yeah.
But giving a critique, like, I wish this movie had more originality.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate critique of the film.
Thank you.
So yeah, feel free to keep that as your dislike.
Yeah, I mean, like I was like, well, I looked on my notes like, crap. I'm thinking like, because he said that, and I'm like, I'm gonna feel like a hypocrite here.
Well, don't.
I got
you had a legit critique.
I did. It's just the fact to be like,
it's just
there's all the story beats in this movie have been done before.
Yes.
They're kind of shifted and rearranged slightly.
If you want to be honest, there's been no original story since the dawn of time.
Yeah, like
it's all the same. What, 13 stories? Isn't that what they say?
Roughly it's the same story beats that have been told over and over again, and you just kind of rearrange them a little bit, make them different, but you're using the same formula. And I know, I mean, like you see movies that are absolutely incredible that you watch the movie that probably wasn't the best, but using some of the same similar beats and the same story arcs. And finding something new is very hard to do. And not just like mimicking things you've seen before. And like as a creator and as an artist, be like, that's hard. That's very really hard not to just use the the same cliches and the same tropes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, not bashing them because they use those tropes, because sometimes you just can't avoid them.
Well, it's not about if you use the trope or not. It's how well you use the trope.
It's how well you use the trope. And I think
they use it very well in all
They do.
All the tropes they use very well in here.
Exactly.
Anyway, we need to review this because it is getting late.
Yes.
I'm actually giving this movie an 8.
Okay.
I know it, as much as I kind of bashed this movie with my 2 very long rants. I really do I think this is a very well made film. I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to watching it again, especially to see how well the particle effects of the gunpowder is. But yeah, it's a fun movie, and I think you should watch it. While I do consider it family friendly, give it a pass without the kids first, I think, to see it, because you know your kids better than anybody else.
Exactly. You're
going to know how, because I have a feeling the rats may get the creepiness factor in there.
Uh-huh.
And, that's my only suggestion there when it comes with whether or not kids should watch it. Just give it a pass. See if it's going to fit what your child can work with.
Yeah.
And go from there. So, yeah, I'm still giving it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also giving it an 8. Yeah, like it's an enjoyable film. It's a family film. There again, use discretion when watching with little ones or little kids. Because I know a lot of people who love rats, and I know a lot of people who hate rats.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do not like rats, don't watch this film because you might get freaked out.
Indeed.
But overall, Billy, it's a great story, wonderful characters. Something that I wish I had not passed on in 2007. I don't know why. I saw the trailer. I saw it was in theaters. I probably could have gone and saw it, but
if you were like me, and I know why I passed on this at the time, it's because I was passing on pretty much all animated movies at the time. I don't think it was, or for me, it was, I was really getting hooked on anime. So Western anime, I was gatekeeping. And saying Western animation was beneath me. Who would want to go see a movie about a rat cooking?
Boy, I was wrong.
Well, I went and saw Wall-E in theaters the very next year, so this was at the end of mine. So
yeah,
which we will do Wall-E eventually, because that's actually a good movie.
Yeah, we'll get around to
it. Yeah, I skipped out on this. I think this was also around the same time that a Chicken Little came out.
Yeah.
Or not Chicken Little. What was after Chicken Little? It was the next 3D one after Chicken Little. Good night. Was it Bolt or Meet the Robinsons? One of those two.
It was Meet the Robinsons and it was Bolt.
Okay, Meet the Robinsons is the one that actually got me back into animation.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the first movie.
Bolt wasn't for me.
was the first movie I went back in theaters. So now I've only seen Meet the Robinsons one time because while I enjoyed it, I recognize it's one of Disney's weaker ones.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're like me, that was just at that point in time where it's like low point in appreciating animation.
Exactly.
Because I never really gave up on animation. I just switched where my focus was.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that time, apparently, it was on movies or anime.
Mm-hmm. Totally get it.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Cellcast. Thank you guys once again for joining us. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Everything else is going to be out in the outro. So until then, in the meantime, this has been Drew.
What movie are we watching next?
Oh, yes. Do have to say what movie we're watching next. We're watching Akira next in celebration or interesting connection with
the Olympics.
The Olympics that were supposed to be last year when we originally scheduled this movie.
Yes. Thank you, coronavirus.
But we aren't reviewing it by ourselves.
No,
we are having two very special guests on from the Retro Rewind podcast, that being the captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and his second in command, Paul, the Master Interrupter Powers.com, joining us for that episode. So we're actually going to be recording that a week early. If you are listening to this on the podcast, you missed it already because we'll record this 2 days from today. If you're still watching us on the live, join us Thursday.
Yeah.
But anyway, at the same time as normal. So that's the plan there.
Yeah.
So now, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
Akira!
Oh, I need to keep this going because I got to read stuff, don't I?
Yes.
Okay. So Geek Devotions jumped in during that, and I did at least let him know we caught him, but he asked us what was going on, and he goes, "A happy ending? Rats for real?"
Mm-hmm.
And then something he said, "Lol." I mentioned nothing much, man. How are you doing? Fair warning, power has been fluctuating here.
Yeah, you think?
He says, honestly, the guys who worked on the animation were on it for this film. Wet CGI is super difficult. And he said, I'm good over here and no worries at... And he put a smiley face. He says, to be fair, at the time, a lot of folks had gotten to the point of really leaning on motion capture. Mm-hmm. At the same time, how do you motion capture a rat? You know, the motion capturing the rat is fair. Maybe you could have done some facial motion capture, although I don't know if that was a thing at that point. Mm-hmm. I don't remember when facial motion capture really became a thing.
Yeah.
But all the humans with all the specific cooking motions could have been done.
Oh, yeah.
To make that super, super realistic. He says, to be fair, he can watch... talking about Francisco having not seen Avengers Endgame. He says, to be fair, he can watch Black Widow and not watch and not watch Endgame. Just can't watch the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
And he says, wait, Jacob hasn't seen The Prestige? That's it. Stop the podcast. Jacob has to watch it now.
I own the DVD. I just haven't watched it yet. It's on the list.
Right. He says, lol, that Star Trek reference. He says, let the fur fly. LOL. And then his last one at about 9:56, which was about 20 minutes ago. Got to bounce for a bit. Love you guys. Thank you for jumping in for at least a little bit of the podcast watching the stream. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Their Geek Devotions. We enjoyed having you on for the Tenchi Muyo thing way back.
Yeah. And
glad to know you're still listening. Anyway, you want to do your retro stuff since the last time I tried to jump in and get us past it, you repeated everything I said.
Yeah, I did.
So I'll let you do it since you've got a whole shtick.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At the Cellcast. We're on
Twitter. We're on @cast_cell.
Yeah, what he said. You can follow us on. You can follow our YouTube channel, which is the Cellcast. You can follow. Man, now I'm stumbling all over my words. We are available. We do Twitch. We do live streams from Twitch. That's the Cellcast Gaming.
Yes. And don't forget to catch Sonic Saturdays on that.
Exactly. And sometimes we'll do reactions over there.
And eventually we'll get back to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get there when we get there.
Summer is, even though we are two single guys with no families, no immediate families, summer is still hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Schedule stuff
it's trying to get everything in order. It's kind of tough.
Ironically, when school starts, which shouldn't affect us in any way, shape, or form, that's when things will calm back down.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Space Jam, the new Legacy comes out to next Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna,
or this Friday actually.
Yeah, and we won't be able to do our reaction.
No, because I'll be in Houston.
So we will figure out when we're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So, where was I? Yeah, you can get, if you want to listen to us via audio, you can find us on your favorite podcast catcher or directory. There again, I use yours first.
I don't care. If you want to use yours, go ahead. I was just giving you a hard time when I said it's called a podcast catcher, you know. That's the term. It doesn't really matter. They know what we're talking about. Find us wherever fine podcasts are acquired.
Yes, exactly. And now you can, if you want to, you can be part of our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/cellcast. And you can sign up for $1
if you just want to give us money.
Yeah,
$5 if you want artwork from him. $10 if you want everything.
Yeah, everything. That's audio. That's commentary tracks. That's bloopers and several other stuff we have in the pipeline that are that we are working on. So if you want to financially support us there, that would be amazing. And we do have merchandise. We're working on stuff on that, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's all I've got.
All right. So I already know who we're going to be rating because I already saw he came online because we went late tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So I am going to. I got him up there. I need to now bring him up on the raid thing here.
Through the hilarious options.
Turn the audio on so I can hear when it goes.
Hey, Fat Fox.
Okay, so I got the raid going here in a minute. Once again, thanks for joining us, guys, and we will catch y'all Thursday. Yep, for Akira.
Akira.
Hey, that's the wrong thing. I don't know how it goes. Anyway.
Nailed it.
Did it go? Oh, I actually have to hit the button. Sorry. Boop.
Wrong button.
Make sure this goes. Yep, we rated with a party of one. And I'm going to end broadcast.